Hello, live.
Maybe. I see you. Liar.
Liar.
And I thought so.
Yeah, did you make the change to the thing we spoke about earlier? The bit thing? Yeah, I'll just DM it to you. One of the animated emotes not working properly. Is one of the animated emotes not working properly or something?
Hurts keeps on winning. Yeah.
Wait, we're talking about Cat Gib, right?
Are they just intentionally saying fuck quick, might I add? Like, they have to be at this point. I mean, like, it's just something I've been thinking about here at these puffs. Hey, can't prove that I am right now.
The brain cell is shared, okay?
Nice tits.
I think I got it. My process is slow but steady at some point.
Has Irisfiel gotten evocation?
Yes,
Yes.
and
And
above.
they offered her like to make her somewhat relevant. It's like, I guess she needs another buff. Wait, there's a 4-star caster buff coming up.
Yeah, you think.
I don't think have they ever done a welfare on the Annie ones? I don't think so. So that would be interesting.
Hydra Ishtar.
Was that on an Annie?
Right, son.
No, I think Ishtar was also on evocation.
I can keep up with 17.
Well, still a chance we get some OG Fate buffs. So, shall see. That means
Surely
Cursed Arm
Artoria
can
gets a
maybe
buff,
get a buff.
right?
Look, Medea and Medusa need fucking buffs.
Who doesn't need a buff? He's already as survivable as possible.
But hear me out. What if we gave him more survival?
Oh, you mean a stackable guts?
No, his dodge becomes a Castoria ult.
That's
3
broken.
and Indomitable Will.
At that point, I would be rich getting richer.
If it ain't broke, right? I'm still gonna laugh if Cuckoo is one of the foreigner buffs. Well, between Cleo and Semiramis, I may have a bit of bias. Both needed a buff. After this buff, Semi definitely needs.
Later.
Well,
Hello, everybody. How's it going? All right, I just got the tweet out. Do me the favor, go give that some love. And we are going to be starting here in just a hot second. Okay. Wait, where's my sauce for today? There it is. Okay. Cool. Wait, you redeemed spin, but I don't see her spinning. Did that not work? Hmm. Hmm. Relia. Hmm. Give me 1 second on that, chat, and I'll redeem it. Because that is very odd. She should be doing that. Well, let's go ahead and get this party started. Hello, everybody. Here is today's artwork. And here it is for you guys on the YouTube side as well. Apologies for that not working. What would you think of Cs that let you begin battle on the field of your choosing? I think there would naturally have to be a turn limit to it, but I wouldn't hate it. I don't think it'd be crazy. Like for instance, if it were just the first turn, that might be something. Particularly if it was to get a buff, right? Let me refresh it here as well. I think what's going on is the bot is just being persnickety. Huh. Or maybe it's not. Alright, give me 1 second, chat. We're gonna reboot Aurelia. Wajoom! Okay. Anyways, how's everybody going today? My co-host will be back here shortly. Bad Gal Beach, thank you for the follow. And years ago, I was Chinese. Thank you for the follow. Ellie of Fate, thank you for the resub. Appreciate it. I was wondering why I had 8 ads. Oh, of course. It's because Twitch is getting kind of scummy. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, Twitch is going to run ads even if I, like, do my best to try and prevent it anyways. Still have not fixed the doubling up of the alert issue, so my apologies on that. But again, I hope everybody is doing okay. What's up, Sebas? Sag, they forgot Medea again. Yeah. We're going to talk about the buffs. And we're going to talk about just how should I put this for you guys? Just how, like, copium this is, right? Like, because to me, I got to be real with y'all. Asclepius didn't need a buff. Like, oh, yeah, no, he did not need a buff. That's Asclepius is still like an amazing unit for what he is. The buff's a good buff for him. Seen some odd takes on that. I think the only thing that I can point out, and I do kind of agree with people on this one, is that like by making him have an arts buff, you have now kind of pigeonholed him a little bit into arts. You can still use him outside of it, but this is actually yet another one of those like golden opportunities where I'm just like, why didn't you make him quit? Like, dead serious. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's that crazy to say at this point, but it's like, now we have Shufu and Asclepius, and there is quite a bit of overlap between the two. Obviously, there is some slight differences, but I'm like, huh? I don't really feel like you needed to make him that. So it is kind of odd. Asclepius will deal damage next buff, yeah. I mean, he's a really, really fantastic unit. I do like him. I think he's really good for a budgetary reason alone. But then when you start to actually consider the sheer amount of like buff control that he has in his kit and the overall like healing and survivability that he brings to the table, I think he's fantastic from that standpoint. He could have been the quick support they needed. Yeah, 100%. Okay, I think she's on and running again. Here we go. There she is, chat. Let's try this one more time. Hopefully this time it goes through. Aurelia! Why won't you spin? Woman! Woman, you're refusing. You refuse the spin. Okay, give me 1 more second. I'm gonna try rebooting the bot itself. My bot will take a second here, so I'm a little bit blind, especially for you guys in the YouTube side of things, because I can't see you guys without it. But it is what it is. She's had enough of us. I don't blame her. Let's be real, right? Like, she has very good reasons to be done with y'all's stuff. especially at this point in time. Okay, it's getting cranked up here. She's flexing on us? Yeah, well, no, I mean, she actually can, like, T-pose on you if she so chooses. That is 110% a thing that she can do. And she could also flex on you like that. Then, where was it? I've got too many darn things in here. There it is. There's your T-pose, chat. She straight up can. Hello, Heike. Okay, now I can see y'all again. Let me try refreshing this. This is the amount of, like, troubleshooting I think I now need to do pre-stream every single time just to make sure all this stuff is working. All right, one more time, and if not, I'll probably turn the spin redeem off. Okay, I'm not sure why that's not working. She is just refusing at this point in time. There's one more change that I'm going to make here, and it's going to be a total reboot of the program. And then that should work out, but she doesn't feel like phasing up. She doesn't. Hello, where's Bait? Hello there, Baitroth. Hold on, I'm not Bait. Listen, chat, if anything, I am the jebaited, not the jebaitor. Okay? Each and every one of you got me to do the Arish analysis instead of doing my own GSSR. Because you literally distracted me into thinking that that's what I needed to do next. Because it was one of the topics I had for possibility of covering yesterday. And in that process, all of a sudden, I ended up going like, oh shit. Wait, we got a Rin face? No, you didn't. Nope, no Rin face. Nothing to see here. Master Baitroth. Don't forget your GSSR and Destiny order. Listen, I'm aware. I am aware, chat. Oh man, it is. The bot does not want to shut down. I'm gonna give it its two minutes there, and then if it doesn't, I'll do it myself. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and move on. Obviously, I'm capped here, and chat seeing my AP capped probably hurts their very soul. So we can go ahead and deal with this. Again, don't forget, you have a little bit of time left on NA here, but not very much longer. We've basically got the duration of today and tomorrow in order to finish. And then from there, we are probably looking at the 26 million downloads campaign now, which is hilarious because it's going to be combining with the Fate Stay Night campaign, which is exactly what I kind of thought. You guys remember when we went over their announcement for the Fate Stay Night campaign, I was like, this is weird. This isn't exactly how JP did it. This looks like it has parts of the 26 million download campaign. And sure enough, that is what we're getting. So I find it really, really funny that they're going to be doing that. Do you think that Merlin will get a buff? Maybe. I honest to God, I can't tell you no, he will not get a buff with absolute certainty, but I can tell you that I do not think that he needs one, nor that he should get one. I think he should be very low on the totem pole, but I understand a lot of people are looking at that because of some sort of idea that he maybe needs one somehow. But I'm also going to tell you guys that that's sort of a holdover from the days before we had Oberon and Koyanskaya. People wanted Merlin to get buffed purely because they wanted Buster to get better, not because Merlin actually needed a buff. So in that regard, I think you're okay. I think Merlin will be perfectly fine as is. And I think people are just looking at this and assuming he's going to get one here because he's on rate up. So we'll see. Maybe he does. I just again, we've already seen like the first 3 buffs were like, oh, okay, all those units kind of needed those. Those were okay buffs. And then this 4th buff with Asclepius was like, huh? No, like he's one of the few that didn't need it. So very, very odd that they kind of chose him in that regard. But that's what I'm trying to say is that, like, yeah, it's possible that they do it again and they hit another unit that doesn't actually need the buff. So it is what it is. Scotty buff is the quick buff. I mean, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't be upset if they did buff Scotty at this point. I think that would be perfectly okay. All right, there we go. Now it's restarting. I don't know why that program takes so long to close down. Tomorrow is not a Skander or Cats. People will riot. No, I wouldn't say that. I don't think people will riot if it's not one of those two. I will say people would like for instance, if it's like, oh hey, if it's Ozzy again, people will be like, but why? Right? Like, so there could definitely be ones that would make people upset. But I don't think people will riot over just those two. Ilya did recently show up back in Prism Ilya. I mean, Ilya is still okay. I don't think she necessarily needs one. There we go. Let me close that there. Watch them buff Scotty and Summer Scotty and say we have fixed quick. You know, that possibility is there. I didn't even think about that because we have a ruler right on the heels, right? Actually, hold on. What's our order here? Do I still have it open from yesterday? If I did, it's gone. If someone has the image link, feel free to toss it to me. Just the one that's summarizing things. Okay, hello Aurelia. Welcome back. There we go. Okay, I got you, okay. We finally got her to spin. Only took 15 minutes. And then chat bullies her. Chat with all the redeems. Okay. She finally wanted to spin. She finally was no longer immune. She had lost her solemn defense. But I'm glad that you guys do enjoy the redeems in all seriousness. I did work hard on getting them working. So like that's part of the reason why when I'm like, why the hell are they not working? That I get annoyed. But I'm getting to the point where I actually need like a pre-stream checklist of like refresh this, reboot this, check this, make sure all these things are working. Because like I hate that that's the case, but it's welcome to technology. Okay, so chat. Where were we? Right, I needed to totally needed to do my AP here. There's really not too much I need to be doing. I need to actually check my master missions for the week. I need lawful servants, wild beast, and demonic. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll just go run another Trom, and I'll try to figure that out in a bit. And before I run another Trom, hold on, because I'm full on embers. Again. Yippee. There's a Fuyuki node, GSSR and Destiny Order. Oh, I never touch those until I'm actually like AP spent down somewhat. That way I don't suffer complications. I know you're going to be like, oh, he's baiting again. And I'm going to be like, no, it's not my intention. And I've said this before, Chad. I'll say it again. The entire reason I haven't gotten to do my GSSR is purely due to like all the shit that's happened with JP over the past couple days. So, it's not normal that we have one, totally brand new systems, and two, a problem in a sense with like the community's perception of it, right? Like, so it's been a while since I've seen like the community this up in arms, and that's why I've been trying to do my best to talk about it, explain it from kind of both sides, both angles, and to give you guys some amount of perspective and to try and calm things down to a degree and help you guys understand it. I did have a tweet earlier today as well where I was going through as I was posting YouTube, and I saw someone made a comment on the old fourth append like prediction video, and I went in there and I saw there were actually several new comments on it and people being like, holy crap, you managed to predict this. And I was like, yeah. And I watched the video again myself and I was like, wow, I really did predict this. This was a lot closer than even I realized. Because like I talked about like, oh, hey, you know, here's the fourth and the fifth append, but don't worry, they're not going to do this without fixing coins. And here's why. If they were to do it without fixing coins, the entire community would be up in arms against them and be extremely pissed off. So my logic there was that they wouldn't do it for the exact reason of what happened. And yet somehow they were still dumb enough to not like sense that that was the case. Or they weren't dumb and they knew, but the, you know, people lording over them at this point kind of forced their hand. And look what happened. Yep, 100%. Just beat in a summer event CQ with QSH and it was fun. Nice. Pet the streamer, CAD to himself. Yes, that's right. No, chat, this is one of those deals where I really wanted to be like, ha, we got a coin fix. Ha, we got the fourth and the fifth append. I told you so. And I wanted to be right, but right in the best of ways. I didn't want to be right in the worst of ways. I hate that I was right about this. Like, it's one of those deals where, yeah, I will point out that I was, but I'll point out that I was to lend credence to the arguments that I make, to the points that I'm trying to get you guys to understand, so you guys understand that, yeah, I do have my finger on the pulse sometimes. More so than probably anyone else would give me credit for. There's plenty of people that throughout this entire like debacle have flip-flopped numerous times on this and been like, oh, this, and then like, oh, okay, maybe it's not that bad. Oh, but now this, no, maybe it's not that bad. I've just been straight as an arrow, consistent through the whole thing. Like, it is what it is, and I don't think I'm gonna end up changing that stance, and I won't change it until they finally fix coins. And when that will be, I can assure you, chat, they will fix the coins. When though, I don't know. It's totally on them at this point, and it's the better question is, how much money would they like to make? Would they like to make lots, or would they like to make a little? Because that's the choice that they're kind of presenting themselves with by not fixing it. The longer they go without fixing it, the more likely they are to lose money, in effect. That's pretty much why I watch you, Cad. Thank you. I appreciate it. Do you think the other server would get the 120 Saint Courts? Do I think NA will get it? I think it's possible, but I wouldn't bet on it because it's more of a like, yeah, shit, we fucked up compensation. And I'm going to tell you whatever the changes are that happen here for JP, whenever they happen, those changes will come to NA early. Like, either they'll come at the anniversary here that JP just got, or they will come like even earlier as they try to jump ahead of things. Like for instance, and I've said this before, there's just no way in hell they're gonna do a coin fix or a like actual like massive change to the pity system without the NA community asking for it. Like I don't think NA is gonna be super up in arms about the current pity change, but I mean I certainly would like it to come to NA earlier. But obviously I'm someone that's gonna benefit from it greatly. Do you think Aniplex and Sony know how bad the backlash they caused is? No. I mean, like, maybe certain people that do pay attention, right? The people that are like, oh, okay, you know, I'm like the social media person or the public relations liaison, that sort of thing. Like they might know. They might absolutely be like, holy crap, what the hell kind of hornet's nest did they kick? But your higher ups in Sony and Aniplex, no, I don't think they have a clue, and I don't think they care. But that, to be fair, is because they only see numbers on a spreadsheet. They only see financial reports. They don't see the actual like game or understand how it works or functions. Like chat, your higher ups don't play FGO. I'm sorry. It might actually help if they did. Aurelia is taking over the screen. What do you mean? What do you mean? She's right where she always is. What are you trying to say? They just make money off of us. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like we've kind of known for a long time, and this is why I say like I'm not sure that the net gain from switching from like Delightworks to Lasingle was a good thing. Like going under Aniplex's like removing the middleman that was Delightworks and going under Aniplex like directly, because Aniplex is well known at this point to be pretty much money grubbing and only care about one thing. So like that's the issue. It's I think that Aniplex is making the game a little bit more monetary focused rather than anything else. And the changes since they've taken over do kind of seem to indicate that. I used to be able to sit here and say with a straight face that like FGO was actually, other than its gotcha rates, extremely fair, not predatory in any way, shape, or form, and like run by devs that actually cared. Since the Aniplex acquisition, I'm not sure that's the case anymore. I can't say that with you know full like confidence. Imagine they buff Kukulkan. You know, in a weird way at this point, like normal me is like, no, they won't do that. That'd be like freaking insane. Whereas like evil me is like, God, I hope they do it. I just want to see the sheer explosion of like people in the community just mauling over the fact that like all of a sudden Cuckoo gets even stronger. But yeah, I don't know. They had one job, fix servant coins. What do? Made the system worse. They didn't make the system worse. I really do want to say that, because again, I think this is sort of like the context matters. Getting it right and the phrasing on this matters, chat. The reason why is if we're just going to blow everything out of proportion, then at that point, why should the devs listen to us, right? We're just spoiled children at that point. So to me, it's like, let's get it right. The issue here isn't that they added more appends. The issue is not that like they did anything extra to the system, because that system is fine in and of itself. The issue is that the coin system still sucks, and they went yet another year without fixing it, despite talking about it now 2 years ago, and we still don't have a change. So it's like they acknowledged 2 years ago that the system was a problem, and we still have nothing. That's your issue right there. Like, if they give us more coins from some other like sustainable source, who cares? There's 5 appends. That's great. That's more things to work on. That's more ways to improve your favorite servants. It's hey, all of a sudden now you actually can start to grail your units to 120 if you couldn't before. That's hey, now you have more coins to throw into things like grail casting and such. So like I really do believe that if we actually get more coins, this whole system becomes good. If we don't get more coins, this system continues to suck. So the problem is that they're paying attention basically to the system itself and adding to that, but they're not paying attention at all to the inflow of the system. This is not getting any attention, and so this continues to suck. That's the real problem. If they fix the inflow, we're good. Money grubbers, yeah, 100%. And it's why, like I've said, to me, that is the most predatory and scummy thing that they have done in the past, like, 3 years. You could basically tie a lot of the game's problems back to that one simple issue. People want to be able to do all these nice new things for their characters. Like, chat, let's say you're we'll use Asclepius. Let's say you're an Asclepius fan. You love Asclepius. You really want to take Asclepius to 120. But you do not have the Asclepius coins. You're just fucked. There's no way you're going to get that much without just pulling out the wallet. I cannot look at that when we already have just normal gacha, and I cannot look at that and say that adding that to it as a consideration is just scummy. It's just predatory. That it is what it is. Hello, Ivy. How's it going? Relia. Wave. She's not being as actually interesting. She didn't do that either. I don't know what's going on with her today. She's being persnickety. Doesn't matter how good the car is if you can't get it to start. The system is good, but with no keys, coins, it's no good. Yeah, exactly, Lemonade. Exactly. And that's why I keep saying, like, everyone's getting upset over the car. And I'm like, why? It's the problem is the car won't start, right? Like, the car itself is a nice car. It's just literally, chat, you bought, and you know, pun intended, I guess, here due to your name, Lemonade, but you bought a lemon, chat. You literally bought a lemon. That's the problem. The new appends are too good as well. I really do want to say this, that while they are good, don't overstate them. I see a lot of people being like, oh my god, that 5th append is like, it's game changing. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe for like a handful of units. For the rest of the units in the game, it's really not going to be that big of a deal. We'll talk about that. Like I said, it is one of my upcoming like projects basically to work on with you guys. But it is, to me, like, it's nice to have that append in the game. I think it does help out certain units, like, for instance, Arcuate, as we had denoted. But, yeah, I think, like, you're going to see a lot of people make a huge deal out of the 5th append, and the reality is that for the majority of units, they're probably not going to care. But if they're your favorite unit, it's game-changing, sure. Sure, I think it's important in that regard. And look, chat, I'm going to go ahead and say this. You want my bias on this? My favorite units are not helped out by that 5th append. And that actually, like, upsets me. Because if the 5th append is helping anybody for the majority of unit cases, it's actually Buster units. And the fact that the 5th append does not help the Saber faces really is stupid to me. I'm kind of at this point, like, tired of the Saber faces getting screwed by that system. What's your favorite quality of life from this anniversary, putting aside the new appends? I mean, honestly, the pity change, but I'm a whale, right? So that naturally benefits me. What was the guideline for only corporate streamers for everybody to potentially? By the way, does the guideline only for corporate streamers or for everyone potentially? I'm not sure. I've talked to Trubs about it. We now are officially, so chat, get this, okay? We now are officially allowed to stream Fate Grand Order. It only took 9 years. Yeah, this was a thing. Like for 9 years, we publicly their stance was we are not allowed to stream the game, which is like so stupid. At least it helps reload made. I haven't looked at that, but yes, it should, right? It's not easy for them to enforce such a thing to individual streamers. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I think it was stupid to ever have such a stance. I think it was stupid that they ever said you couldn't stream the seal route for Tsukihime. I think it's stupid that they put any sort of content restriction on streamers. At this point, they need all the help from content creators that they can get. The fact that it took them 9 years to this shows what kind of dinosaurs and fossils are still working over at Aniplex. If you're under a company like Hololive, it'd be easier to do it. No, corpos have to actually get like permission still. Like, and I haven't looked, right? Like, so that may have been granting just the corpos permission. That's where, like I said, I need to actually see. But according to what was said at the anniversary live stream, people are now allowed to stream up through like quite a bit of the content. Imagine if FGO was under Nintendo, we wouldn't even be able to stream. Yeah, I mean, imagine if FGO was under Nintendo, I wouldn't be here. Like, it'd be that simple, right? I mean, you can stream Nintendo games. You're just very prone to getting copy struck by them. But I say that, and, you know, we have been copy struck by Aniplex before. At least the greater Twitch community has, seemingly. In a bunch of the cases, it appeared to be bad actors, but we can't necessarily prove that all of them were. And there have been certain circumstances where, like, we had even live streams getting struck and stuff like that, covering the anniversaries and such. So, yeah, we have to assume at some point that some of it was actually Aniplex. Running out of fossil fuels? Yep. VTubers like Pecora were allowed to stream up until Babylonia. Yeah. And that's the thing is, in general, like, Hololive will dictate that content creator has to get permission no matter what the game is. Like, that's why you'll see chat, like, Hololive only streams certain games. They have to have express permission because they're a corporatized entity. So it's not necessarily the same thing as like a random, you know, one-off streamer somewhere else. There's a little bit more legality involved in that sort of thing. And it's mostly Hololive is just protecting themselves so they don't get sued, right? I don't blame them for that. Which I did see Aqua is retiring as well, which is I can't say I've ever really watched any of Aqua's content, but I can understand that it is at least like somebody that's important to a lot of people that watch Hololive, especially since she was a second gen person. Which is kind of odd, too, because from what I heard alleged, it was differences with the company. So I'm wondering at this point if a lot of the like corporate VTubers are kind of trying to break the yoke and get out from underneath the thumb of the big corporate entity. Because one, I think it's really restrictive, and two, I think while it does give them a bump up in popularity, I think eventually the streamer just gets tired of all the restrictions. They just want to be able to like collab with their friends. They just want to be able to play games. They just want to be able to have fun. I think Hololive's losing money. I don't know. I'll say this. If Hololive is losing money, you know who definitely is, and that's Niji Sanji. Capcom almost put them in bankruptcy back then. Oh, did they get sued? I wouldn't be surprised if it went a step further and started making strong servants have 7+ turn cooldown skills that are broken. Yeah, I will say that's at least a concern with the new 5th append. Like, you worry that in the future that we're going to have servant design affected by it, right? And I think that's always a concern when we get something like this. Now that we have the 9th Annie servant, do you think they'll ever give us another male Annie servant? Do I think it'll ever happen? I mean, isn't our only male Annie servant Sherlock at this point? Like, I certainly think it could happen, but I do understand why they keep doing females in that sense. Like, I think it's they want their anniversary banner to sell well. And I feel like doing, obviously let's use our current one, right? Using Arish, that was guaranteed to sell well. So I'm not saying that they can't do a male that will sell well, but I am saying that unless they make that male really good gameplay wise, there's a good chunk of the population of the game that just will not roll. When's the first Annie Quick MP servant? The first anniversary Quick MP servant. Yeah, the majority are arts, right? If I remember correctly. Or is it Buster? I don't remember. So no Seimei. They could, right? Seimei would be a recipe for how you do it. You get someone that's really important in the lore, you make them hot, you make them really good gameplay wise, like, again, make them like a meta support somehow, and all of a sudden everyone's going to roll for him, right? Then it doesn't matter that it was a male at that point. People are rolling for other reasons than just, it's a dude. Yeah, Scotty is technically a arts unit if you consider her NP. Obviously she's quick support, so it is what it is, but my god, I can like not hear my music at this point. There we go. I think my headset's just turned down. What was I doing, chat? What was I doing over here? Oh, I assume that's someone subscribed on YouTube, so thank you. Have you done your GSSR yet? No, but I need to get AP ticking here, so... Whee! How do you have 14,000 star all embers? Well, called hoarding, chat. Eventually, you have just the right amount. Ah, that's why. That's why I hadn't done anything. Let's throw another stack in. You don't want to see my mailbox. That's actually what I was clearing out today. I'm tempted to just get more shells here. Yeah, we did get announced a second season of that. But you guys can see, I'm now down to 105. This is also, if you guys saw, I did make a post today. I asked Avalon to look into it for me, but basically, chat, I ended up talking about this, that while I was clearing out my embers here on JP, I noticed that I had less than like 100 days left on my 29 million download campaign embers. We are 3 days from the 30 million download campaign being the longest ever. The longest gap ever. And I'm gonna tell you right now, we gonna hit it. We gonna hit it. You finally joining the 120 mate altar gang? I have a 120 mate altar on an A. This is JP. I've been part of the gang. Looking closer at Saberface at Pin 5, it's great for Summer Nero and Ace. Yeah, Summer Nero is actually someone that'll benefit from it. Ace, the only weird part about Ace is, like I said yesterday, that it doesn't impact her third skill, which I think is stupid, but it is what it is. I kind of understand that that one is a unique exception. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying it's like not really a big deal. For most units, that like cooldown reduction is going to be like, oh, instead of getting your steroid on waves 1 and 3, you're now getting it on waves 1 and 2. So like it's just front loading the damage. Which, don't get me wrong, it's better to have good damage in the second wave, but like it's not like, oh my god, this is going to make or break your unit in most scenarios. Have I done the GSSR? No, I have not. I'm sorry, chat. Anyways, chat keeps getting me simultaneously sidetracked and reminding me of other things I need to be doing. Here, let's get in here. Let's get AP spent. Do my 3 runs of this hogwash. Wajoom. It's gotta be Takeru. There we go. Typical streamer blaming his chat? No. Wait, chat, did you guys kill Aurelia? Huh? That's impressive, chat. I'm not sure how you did that. I'm not sure how you keep sending her into the shadow realm like that. And frankly, it's terrifying. Too many doge attacks, I guess? Perhaps. It was an accident. I don't believe you. She's really getting tired of chat. Can you blame her? There, chat. Now she has the gun. What was your first ever SR in the game? Mine was Marie Antoinette. Mine was Martha. She's gained a new power. Yes, the power of gun. She is threatening each and every one of you. Does this mean no more dog cam, Cad? Chat has asked me that question repeatedly. I've told you guys I'm still working on it. Eventually. Let's do this. And then this. And then this. And then that should work. True, she class changed? Yeah, now she's a Lancer. Then we got that. There you go, chat. American Aurelia, yes. Why not make your VTuber avatar into a hot girl? Mostly because it's a lot easier to just be myself. And secondly, this hilariously enough was a thing, but I once did like use Aurelia's model as a like test. Basically, we did like, I think it was like 2 or 3 streams where I was Aurelia, and apparently that really upset some people. I found out later after the fact. To which, like, I can kind of just say fuck those people because they were haters anyways, but I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's not worth doing anything like that. Better to just be myself. Which 4-star summer NA would you recommend to get for? What do you mean? Like which summer 4-stars across all of them? Or are you talking about just the current event? Yeah. Out of all the currently available 4-stars, obviously the welfare is one you really need to get, but I think really only Eris is going to be the one that has like some real usability down the stretch. Summer better go away today or tomorrow? Tomorrow. You have the remainder of today and tomorrow to gotcha. Please gotcha responsibly. There we go. Doge is gone. Here, chat, let's break Aurelius back. Whenever I bring out the keyboard with her, it's really kind of weird. Fate Stay Night is unlocked in a few hours. Yep, should unlock tomorrow. No more gotcha for me until Cuckoo. Understandable. Which craft essence is good for summer, Scotty? I mean, it really like depends on how you're utilizing her. If you're utilizing her as a damage dealer, then you can Black Grail loop with her. I don't necessarily recommend it unless you're confident that you have a comp that can handle the node. But if you can, then go for it. If you can't, then my advice is to find a good 50% C. Something like Traces of Christmas can be solid. Or heck, even something like Cranking, if you really had to, could actually still put in some solid work for her. If you're trying to utilize her as a support, her Bondcraft Essence can be a nice thing. You'd also do things like Prisma Cosmos, or again, and I'm not going to say this one's really that big of a deal, star generation, so 2030, but to me, she has enough stars and stars per turn in her kit that you really shouldn't need it, especially if you're buffing a quick looper and getting them to actually generate the stars for you. Yeah, Zerks and Beasts don't get extra advantage here. Just Sabers. Which is one of the reasons why I think this node's really good, and I actually think they need to do more stuff like this. I think the health values on this are still pretty insane, but I would certainly like to see them do more nodes where you get like special advantage for using the true damage type. No GSSR yet? No GSSR yet. Soon, chat. In fact, this may be my last run. I don't remember if it is or not. No, one more. We got the buffs today. Today was Cleo and Asclepius. What do you think about today's buffs? I'll talk about that after the GSSRs. Soon proceeds to forget till tomorrow. Chat. Listen, had y'all not gotten me to do the Erish stuff yesterday, it would have been the GSSRs. So you guys got what you wanted yesterday. Please let the writer be Bakin tomorrow. I think there's a lot of writers that could use it. And I'm dead serious when I say this, that like, chat, do you know who actually needs it the most? I'm waiting on someone to say it. There it is. Europa. Europa arguably needs it the most. Everyone forgets about Europa at this point. Who exactly? That is 100% the problem. Yeah, I would really like to see Cats get it. I would like to see Made Alter get some love. And obviously Iskandar. I think like there's like 4 or 5 different writers that I'd be a-okay with being the buff. So I just kind of want to see them do something where it's like, hey, don't take someone broken as dicks, right? Just spooked me on the arc rolls that Annie. Yep. About a 90 star node that forces you to use power mods and special effects. I mean, that maybe would be spicy, but I think at this point it's like, okay, it's Ordeal Call, and you don't have to farm that specific node, so I don't think it's that crazy if they did something like that. I think it may depend on how completable the node is, regardless of whether or not you have it, right? Like, oh, if it's just you can't 3-turn it, that's one thing. If it's, hey, I can't do it without it, then yeah, that's kind of nasty. Europa can at least use the Buster Loop system. Iskandar still can't. Yep. I'm not gonna argue that. Like, I do think Iskandar could use something at this point. And I know a lot of people have said like, oh, but we shouldn't just give everybody charge. And I'm like, listen, the time for that argument was like 3 years ago. You're way too behind on that argument to make that argument now. Like, at this point, yeah, everyone needs charge because everybody else has it. Like we're long past the tipping point. Like, I don't want to see the game become cookie cutter and one size fits all, but I do think that the game at this point is certainly leaving certain units behind. Skandar 50% charge would be great. No, I'm dead serious. You want to balance the Skandar? Here's what you do, chat. Here's what you do. I know y'all hate this, but this does balance them. This means that he does not become an absolute monster for being able to double up all of his skills, because you wouldn't be able to utilize double Koyanskaya, because he'd still be shy due to the fact that it's 20%. No, yeah. And that's the thing. That's how you give him a balanced buff. Okay? Then he still can 3-turn. He can be used with double Oberon Koyanskaya. And he will still deal great damage on wave 3. But he will not be the broken as dicks like person, you know, that you see so many other units like him turn into. Now, what I will say is you could certainly do 30% on him. That as well would just make him really, really strong. He'd be able to use in Koyanskaya systems, basically KKO systems. And then at that point, he probably can double up on, I think, his entire kit. I believe all of his skills are 6-turn cooldown or less. So, yeah, he would start to get really strong because of it. So it's going to be Ozzy who gets it. Ozzy is the one person who absolutely does not need it. Ozzy stands at the top of the heap right now. Okay, chat. Y'all wanted GSSR. Let's see. That's Destiny order. Let's do proper GSSR first. Okay. So remember, you do get, I think it's what, like 100 embers, and then I think we end up getting like 100 million QP or something like that. So it be what it be. Just thinking about this, let me get in the mindset of my JP account here. So I don't have him or her in that regard. So I don't have anyone on that first banner. I do have this. It's only NP2. I do have this. I do have this. And I do have this. What's my Morgan NP level? She just MP1 still? Have I continued to get screwed by her? Yep, yeah, my JP Morgan is like NP1, whereas my Musashi is NP3 because I keep going after like the Berserker GSSRs. Now, to be fair, chat, and the other reason why I do is partially because I, just naturally have the account that I have. And it's not one that is going to be like super robust whaley account. So trying to like get the most I can out of it by like pursuing berserkers a little bit deeper definitely helps it. So that's certainly an interesting one for me there. I do not have him. I do have her. I do not have him. I do not have him. I do have, and I do have. And I have NP1, NP2, and NP1. That's a really good GSSR, though. I have NP1, and I do not have. I do not have. I do not have. I do not have, and I do not have. So it's really interesting, right? This is my JP account, and you guys can see, how do you save up so much, CAD? It's simple. I don't roll. I don't roll every unit. Like, I really like Huyan Zhou's design. I think she's hot AF. I'm gonna get her on an A. Like, I straight up did not have to have her for my JP account. So that's kind of why. I do have. I thankfully do not have to pursue this one, since we know that we will have the ability to change our appends at some point in the future. I have NP5. I have NP1, and I do not have. God, freaking Muramasa, man. I luck sacked that. I have that. I do not have. I think I have like NP2 or 3 of her on JP. I have like NP2 of her and Summer Comma. She's either NP1 or NP2. I think she's NP2. I do not have. Which is really funny because it's like, oh, this is just the summer GSSR. And then here's next summer, which I find hilarious because they put Askin here as well. So I have NP1, I have NP5, I have NP2. I actually wouldn't mind more copies of Ace because she is very, very strong, but that NP5, like rolling into a banner that I have NP5 of on JP is just not a good idea, if that makes any sense. So, like, that's kind of the issue. CAD farms the free quest for quartz, indeed. Summer Mellow and Summer Castorian Ace. Yep. I do have NP1 of that man. I do not have. And I do have NP1. I have NP1. I do not have. And I do not have. This is an interesting one. Basically your Gouda one. It's really weird because these are like event focused more than anything. I'm gonna assume this is kind of collab event here. Except, well, not really, because you got Ptolemy. So I actually don't understand the timing of this. I do have NP2. I do not have, and I do not have. I do have. I do not have. Do I have Yang on JP? I don't remember. That's not a GSSR. You're right. That's not a GSSR. Thank you, chat. We've gone out of it at this point. Okay, so that's not a terrible one. Though I gotta admit, I have not used Super Aoko a ton since getting her. That's definitely an interesting one. I think Bunyan's the one that I really probably wouldn't want there. That's definitely an interesting one. Takasuge is the probable one that I wouldn't want here. I don't know that I care about that one. That one's probably not something I should do. This one I could do, but I'm really not sure there's much benefit to be gained for my account. Same thing here. This one's not bad. The NP5 kind of kills this one. Which, I will say, this low-key kind of dirty that you have Arts AoE Saber and Arts AoE Saber here. But it is what it is. Hello, CZ, how's it going? Crane is the only like meta support that I don't have on JP at this point. And I say meta, and I'm using that term really loosely. I don't have Van Gogh either. Yeah, but I don't really consider Van Gogh a support. I mean, don't get me wrong, she has a support NP, right? But I'm saying, like, more from the standpoint of she is a support unit that supports the team. Van Gogh, I guess you could say, is like crit support, but that's, to me, she's kind of the focus of the team rather than the supporter of it. Oh. This is hard. The way they've grouped this, like there's some really good ones, but I've like snagged the really good unit in it. Nice pin, Truffs. Let me double check something here. Wait. Foreigner, right? Yeah. So I thought I did only get her in P1. Be impulsive, regret nothing. I usually am with my JP account. Man. Okay, and it's potluck 4 stars. I had to double check this on the side. Just because I wasn't sure. I know what I'm doing. I hate myself for this, but I know what I'm doing. This one keeps catching my eye this entire time, chat. All right, yeet. Here we go. It's weird, but I regret nothing. Why? Don't question it, chat. Don't question it. Regret nothing. No regrets. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see what we're gonna get. Eyes be upon ye. All right, here's the gold. Be the 4-star first. Saber. Okay. Bowl cut samurai. Gold again. Rider Bakin? It's Bakin. Let's go. Persuna. Yep. It's still really early in the GSSR, so let's see if anything else pops out. Not that I expect it, though. Doggo time? Yep. See, chat? We are doggo blessed. Well, the big factor for me was honestly that Crane was sitting in the background of this, and it's like, I don't mind trying to snipe Crane with a GSSR, but like, I am not gonna roll a banner straight up for Crane. I like Bakken as a unit. She's nice. She really is. I see chat is discovering some of the new animated emotes. No thighs? Listen, chat. There's still Destiny Order. Bucket is a fun writer to play. Yep. I do enjoy her on NA. I have not really gotten to use her very much, but that's just more like me and my account being the way that it is. Here, I'll turn sound on for y'all. That you guys can hear the Tuna Man. Oh, who queued up the Jeopardy theme? Come on, I didn't take that long. It is difficult for me to choose, though. Tuna Man be tuning? Yes. Now the cat got Bakin, she's gonna get the buff. No, now that I got her, she won't get the buff. I like Bakin's personality. It's really fun. Yeah. So that one was what it was. Again, not quite who I was expecting, but I will take it. It is not a bad GSSR, and I do not regret it. All right, now for the Destiny Order. Okay, how do I handle this? So, Let me think about this one here for a second. I got Benny Enma finally, so that kind of solved her issue. I could use this to snipe Muramasa. I could finally use this to snipe Muramasa. It could finally be a thing. I could also get the Trung Sisters. Trung Sisters are real good. But chat, I think I know what I'm going for here, and you won't expect it. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It's absolutely gonna be Medusa. What the hell were you thinking, chat? Okay. Is it worth it though? It is. No, Chad, I don't have Jarcher on my JP, so we're getting Jarcher. Surprised? Are you really surprised? Are you really surprised? Come on, Chad. That shouldn't surprise you in the slightest. Lancer's a little bit of a tough category. You guys can see there's actually not that many Lancers to choose from. They have not been filling out the Lancer class very much as of late. Walk, thank you for the follow. Uh-huh. Man. I don't have them, chat. That's the problem there. Give me multiple casters, please. Please give me multiple casters. Like... Well... Well, y'all know. I can't even hide that one. Oh, this one's easy. This one's actually the easiest choice out of all of them. As much as I want thighs, I do not have MHX on my JP. Now, I will point this out, chat, for everybody that sits there and says, like, again, you gotta get her, she's a must roll. Like, I didn't have her. Actually wouldn't mind a Kualter just for challenge content reasons, but yeah, I think at this point, I think at this point the obvious answer is going to be to pursue Morgan even more. Even more, Gan. Oh, extra classes. Wait, yeah, so we only get the 2 extras, which it's grouped by extra 1 and extra 2. Okay. So, behold my NP3 John and weep, chat. Despair. Listen, we ain't talking about the elephant statue, chat. We ain't talking about it. Okay, so she is only in P1. Also wouldn't mind another Kagatora here. Hey, this one's kind of spicy. There's so many options. Yeah, Monte Cristo's not bad either. Like, he would definitely be a great pickup because of his ability to be just a single target person that shits on stuff. Issue is I do already have Jolter, so screw that. We're gonna get Marie because I don't care, chat. We're going for the tits. Okay, here we obviously have a maxed out Draco. Did our new beast make it? No. I could get the Gogi. Yeah, I actually think it's Tiamat. I think it's Tiamat for this. Well, was this the dance that I think it is? Yeah, someone actually got the Chica dance. Yeah, I think we'll go Tiamat just for novelty's sake. All right, chat, rate my fit. I know chat's not going to be happy with me, but I don't care, okay? I don't care. It's my best fit. Saberface out of 10? Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's see who we get. Ozzy's the only one that I'm really like, man, like, I just kind of want to make sure I have him at this point. I'll be kind of bummed if I get him, but it is what it is. Only surprised at Ozzy, yeah. He's a permanent unit, but I don't want to have to roll for him if I don't have to. So being able to snag him on this would be nice. Dancing Luck, maybe? Well, she's almost done with the dance. Is yours a year one, JP? No. About partway through year 3. So the first event I started with was the Summer 2 rerun. Watch him spook. Well, then I just end up with a stronger one, right? Saw the Marie, so that's nice. Thank you, Avalon. See, chat, Avalon believes in me. This is why he's the best mod. Saber. Ooh. We got a Medusa. Did we get anyone else? Any doubles? Anything extra? Oh. Motoda. Mori, not bad for coins. You're not wrong. Fuck. Nah. Ooh, Jaguar Man. Science is awesome. Thank you for the follow. I agree, science is awesome. It's also metal AF. I don't think we're getting anything else, chat. Think we're dry. Yeah, the only sad part about that is I prefer to get the unit late in the GSSR rather than early. Okay, so at least we managed to get 2 new units. I will take that over repeats any day. You got 2 new units, congrats, exactly. And there are my GSSRs, chat. So again, you guys can see, obviously, I wouldn't say everybody should do the GSSR the way I do it. I 100% am working from a point of like strength at this point in the like veterancy of my account. So I don't really need to like sit down and really like try hard in order to be able to like get away with more. So it's one of the reasons why you'll see me like pick units where it seemingly is greed, right? Where it's like, oh, he's going for an extra NP level. He's just going for a unit that like he didn't have. But it's not necessarily me trying to like make the account better. It's just me going like, well, I don't care because I'm relatively set. That's kind of why. So we shouldn't YOLO the GSSR. Not early on, right? You know, later on in your account when you've gotten a lot of units and you feel like you're reasonably set with all the things. Like you guys could see, pretty much the only unit that like I did make a real gameplay consideration on was Ozzy, and it was purely because I don't have Ozzy, and Ozzy is one of those like he's really good for his damage output, and he straight up is that person that can absolutely give buff success chance to the party in a good way on top of charisma, charge. So he's just always had a powerful kit. He now has powerful damage. He kind of sits on the king of the heap at that point. So it is what it is. Isn't MLB Mark on a smiling face better than MLB Black Grail for arts loopers? I never see anyone talking about the sea when it comes to farming. I do mention it from time to time, but is it better? No. I guess it depends on like what your metric is, right? If we're talking damage, no, it absolutely gets its butt kicked. If you're talking like refund, yeah, it should be a little bit better for refund, depending. It really depends on if the Black Grail allows you to get to more ranks of overkill, not more ranks, more hits of overkill. And by getting those extra hits, you kind of offset the benefit that something like MLB Sign of a Smiling Face would provide. But that's kind of the reason why you'll see me mention Black Grail a lot. Black Grail is just sort of that like, hey, here's how you get the most damage, and if you loop with Black Grail, you can pretty much loop with anything. So that's kind of why it's sort of the baseline metric for a lot of things. But yeah, it's not a bad craft essence by any means. Assuming you have either CE to begin with. Yeah, exactly. Cad, can Riku loop with Black Grail? Yes. Yeah, she is a Black Grail looper. She was actually one of the ones that I was looking at right there for the Berserkers. But, I mean, the issue is I just went like, I'm just going to get Morgan more. Because, like, and you guys can see, I've tried to get Morgan with, like, I think this is now my 5th different GSSR that I've tried. And she just keeps evading me at this point. But it happens. Eventually, I'll get lucky. I just mentioned Phantasmal Princess more since the last time I did, Can. Wait, what? What do you mean? But okay, now, so, Dad, I'm not going to bore you with leveling up the units on stream because that'll take a hot second, but let's go ahead and let's talk about the buffs. Because I feel like chat wants to know these. You guys can see I had the GSSR pulled up on the side. Okay. Buff time? Yep, buff time. Ooh, that's nice. Retweet. Sorry, distracted. Ooh, that's nice. Retweet. Where were we? Yep. All right. So let's go ahead here and talk about our 2 buffs. So we did talk about both these buffs yesterday. Again, the Benny Enma buff's really good. The buff for Jill DeRay is okay, I guess. I'm going to say Jill DeRay still needs a lot of work. Like, that does not put Jill DeRay in a suddenly, like, good spot here. We'll talk about Ass Clap first here. So, okay, chat. Ass Clap got a buff to his 3rd skill. It used to be Ophiuchus. I'm probably butchering that as well, but this one has always been a strong skill. It's basically just party charge of 20% and the ability to cleanse the party's buffs. What Asclepius has always been strong at more than anything else is buff control, either by way of buffing on allies, cleansing allies, or preventing enemies from debuffing you. So, in that regard, he's always had a strong kit. He's also managed to have, you know, survivability and healing and stuff like that baked in. So he's, you know, for what he is as a 3-star, as a story lock 3-star, he's naturally been a very solid option. The problem has always been that he's 3-star. That's or sorry, not 3-star, that he's story locked, because you just can't really get more copies of him without devotedly rolling for him. So that ends up being the primary issue that people will have, is they either just don't have him, or trying to get him at a higher NP level maybe requires them to roll on a banner that they wouldn't otherwise want. So that's kind of the issue at play with him. But I think for what he is, Asclepius has always been an exceedingly strong, if not the strongest, 3-star support. I understand what I'm saying right there when I say that too, because he has been really, really solid in some very challenging fights. We can look at units like Shufu at this current point in time and be like, wow, you know, she's really, really good now. But Shufu has come out, you know, after the fact with the benefit of years of the game's development kind of ahead of her, and gotten to be the beneficiary of that. Asclepius was simply just strong out of the gate, even when he came out back in LB4. So as we start to look at this buff, we start to look at it with the context of his demerit. The one demerit that Asclepius ended up having, really, more than anything else, was that he would grant the party gut status except himself. So the issue that you had whenever you were trying to run Asclepius was he could keep the party alive, but could he keep himself alive? There were ways to do this. There were, you know, certainly workarounds, particularly if you were to take another support alongside him. So like, let's say you had your own Asclepius and you had like a support Castoria. Well, then naturally keeping him up would be a little bit easier, as you might be able to protect him with the Castoria. But there are certainly concerns with that, because it may mean that you might be like devoting actual things like invuln, or again another source of guts, to Asclepius, where you maybe would have wanted it instead for other beneficial effects on the skill, maybe on your damage dealer instead. So that was obviously one of the considerations that you had as you started to look towards this. So with that in mind, he's always been very solid. He's always been really good at just healing, keeping the party alive, and controlling the buff flow of the entire fight. They come back in here and they end up giving him a buff. It's going to increase the party's arts and healing received basically by essentially 20% and 100% respectively. So the heal rate there is definitely quite nice, as it's just going to make him heal more. I do think this is a huge issue that we've kind of run into at this point in time in the game. Your best healers in the game end up not being units like, again, you know, Medea Lily and stuff like that, right? Like, it's not going to be your unit that just sits there and heals a ton. Your best healers in the game end up being units like Merlin and Proto Merlin. And the reason why is they're very much set it and forget it. They just do their NP, they let the healing flow, and the healing just kind of keeps coming over time naturally without you having to worry about it. Even in Merlin's case, it kind of just keeps going and going and going. In Proto Merlin's case, it's set it and forget it, as you basically just have overheal with having the max heal effect. So you don't even care if you do cap out in that case. So they've naturally just always been some of the strongest units for this sort of thing. You definitely can get use and mileage out of some of the other healers that exist in the game, like a Medea Lily, or again, like an Asclepius here. But the problem is most of the time their healing is not adequate enough for it being attached to a very long cooldown skill. And if you guys can see here, this is a 7-turn cooldown skill. The skill does a lot, but that is one of the big reasons why they're trying to give him that 100% heal boost, because he needs it. Him actually devotedly being the party's healer, in a lot of cases nowadays for in-game content, it's not really enough. He is going to probably get out damaged and basically end up getting overwhelmed eventually. So it turns into a very much kill or be killed type of scenario if you don't bring either an additional source of healing or some type of mitigation to help cover in the interim. This is why I do like this and them adding this, as it's just saying, hey, look, our 3-star, he was maybe underpowered a little bit now with the status of the end game. Let's bump those numbers up and give him this. I think the buff overall is a good buff. However, the big things that I have to point out are, one, he will grant himself a gut status for 1 time 3 turns. If you were going to use Asclepius as sort of a, again, like person that's going to sacrifice themselves, this can get in the way of that. I do think that's a valid point to make. I don't think it's necessarily going to hurt him in the long run, though, because I do believe at this current point in time that Asclepius has his entire kit built for duration, and it's one of the reasons why I think this is them getting rid of one of the downsides of him, and one of the reasons I like to see this. I think this actually does help out. It is not going to necessarily be like, you know, every NP that he does necessarily, since he may have, you know, this sort of thing on like a 3-turn rotation, kind of like you see in Castorius systems. It definitely depends on how fast you feel like you can get back to it. But in that regard, having it on a 7-turn cooldown, he's probably not going to have 100% uptime by any stretch of the imagination, unless you manage to run him alongside a lot of cooldown reduction type of people. That being said, yes, this is still a really good thing. It will help keep him alive, and it will be a very solid thing. You just might not be able to, like, again, kill him off as fast if you're trying. But I do think overall this is good, and you shouldn't necessarily be trying to kill your units, just things depending here on this. Now, what I will say in all of this, and probably the thing that is, you know, what I'm going to say is like the two things that I think stick out to me on this is that, number one, I have no idea why they chose to buff Asclepius. And I'm dead serious on this. He's perfectly fine as is. He did not need this buff. Like, the only thing that I can really point to that, like, he maybe could have needed was the bump up and healing amount. Everything else here is just icing on the cake. Like, he was a balanced unit for a 3-star, and he was still, you know, to a large degree, arguably the best support amongst 3-stars. So why did we feel the need to buff him more? And the only reason that I can really come up with is, again, he's story locked. So the, like, jaded content creator in me says, well, this is them buffing another unit because it might translate into Anaplex's favorite thing. So it is what it is. They don't make money off OG Medea. Yeah, like, but that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know, right? And I'm not going to say that that's 100% the reason why they did it, but it definitely is something that I have to notice here where I'm like, it's kind of odd that we chose Asclepius for this buff. There are so many other casters that are in way worse positions, particularly of the 3-star variety. I think they should have focused this somewhere else rather than that. The other point of contention that I'm going to make, and I did see someone say this, and I agree. I actually do agree with this mentality for a large part. Well, I'm certainly happy that he's getting a nice party-wide buff here to help out offensively with things. This is yet another arts unit. Prior to this point, Asclepius was not really like carding oriented in that degree. He wasn't locked to any sort of card type. You didn't have to use him in any particular system. He worked with everybody. But while he still can, this definitely starts to push him more towards arts now. And I just have no idea why they chose that. Like, if you're going to push him in any direction, why didn't you push him in the direction of Quick? The card type that does need him more. So this is odd to me. Like, this is the only reason why I'm going to say this. It kind of is just at this point getting really weird. It's kind of like we started to look at Erish and wonder, where the hell is Erish after all these years? Why do you just keep buffing units and releasing units that are arts and not taking solutions that could easily solve the Quick issue? Because Apollo Paris is quick? I mean, sure, but like, I don't know, right? Like, it is what it is. It's like they never forgave Quick for Dante's and Circle-Lot looping. I don't think it's that. I don't really know at this point. I don't know what their plan is, and the only thing that I can say is that, like, you know, you have 3 different card types, right? You have Buster, you have Arts, and you have Quick. And we're at this point where anytime we release a unit from any of these, if it's Buster, people are happy. If it's Arts, people are happy. If it's Quick, we're now at this point where players start to just look down on it and say, it's not worth my time. I don't think I want to roll. That's a problem. Like, I just have to state that purely at this point, that regardless of how the devs think they have the game balanced, or whatever state they think the game is in, you have a problem if people are ignoring one of your 3 major card types. If people are sitting there and saying, no, that card type is bad, no, I'm not going to roll units from that card type, and you need to be taking action to make sure that, you know, again, those new units that you do release that are Quick, that they do sell. And that there is no, well, you know, I would roll them, but that's the issue that they're having at this point. Even if they think it's balanced somehow, the community doesn't, and it's now beginning to impact that bottom line for them. And I say beginning to, let's be real here, chat. It's not beginning to, it has been. It has been impacting their bottom line. And I think, unfortunately, with every single one of these times where they go like, hey, okay, we'll give you a new Arts buff, I think people just go like, okay, I guess you don't care about Quick. Like, you start to convert more and more people into that, like, way of thinking because you're just neglecting it. Only like 20% of the units are Quick. Only 20% of the units are Quick. I want to say that's wrong. I want to say that's definitely a low number, but I do know that I believe like Arts is the majority, but I think part of the reason it is because there's so many units out there that have a support MP, and support MPs have long been dominated by the Arts card. So I guarantee you Arts has the most in the game, but yeah, I don't know, right? Like, Arts has 169, Buster has 158. Yeah. But that would still mean, chat, that you have roughly 100 Quick units. Yeah, Quick only has 97. Yeah, it's still not a lot, but that shouldn't be 20%, right? Because let's see. That's 424. So if you've got 97 divided by 424, was it? Yeah. Okay, it's 22. So yeah, it is. It's not 20, but it's definitely close. Yeah, and that's like, my money was at being somewhere between 25 and 30%. So it is definitely lower than I thought. But I mean, chat, let's be real. Is that justification for not buffing Quick? No. No, that just straight up means that, like, you can't release Quick units because you haven't tended to the card type. Like, of course they're going to keep releasing more Buster and Arts units when that's what sells. But why are those the card types that sell? Well, because they've never done right by Quick. And that's the truth of the matter. It just shows their indifference to it. Yeah. Now, like I said, I don't have an issue with Arts having more, but I do think when you've got, you know, like a difference of 50 units between Buster and Quick, we maybe have some issues, right? Arts probably should have the most, just because of that bias like I talked about. But chat, this is also why, like, if you go and look just real quick here, and we take a gander, hold on. easier if I do it by pictures. I'm a picture guy, chat. I like my pictures. I gotta have my coloring book. So if we take a look right down the archers here, for instance, here is an AoE Buster 5-star. Okay, started the game with this. Here's another AoE Buster 5-star. This was the second one released into the game. Another AoE Buster 5-star. That's 3. Another. That's 4. Another. That's 5. I'm not going to count him. Another. That's 6. Okay? So, like, here's my question to y'all. Did we need this 6th one? Don't get me wrong. I like Tame Tomo's design. I think he's cool as shit. I think the fact that we got literally yet another Buster AoE is stupid as all shit. Like, by the time Tame Tomo comes into the game, you have already decided, you have already made up your mind as to which of these units prior to him is your go-to Buster AoE. And that's the biggest issue fighting against Tame Tomo no matter what. I will say that Tame Tomo absolutely could be better for damage, and his kit is wonky where even though he has 50% charge, he can't actualize it. He can't utilize it in a conventional 50% setup. He ends up being treated like a 30% charger instead. So he definitely has a plethora of issues. But yeah, let's be real, right? Like, this was not a smart choice on them. They would have been better to make him quick. They would have been better to make him arts. Any of those other options is at least less populated, or at least was at the time, than Buster. Now, to be fair, right after that, we ended up getting literally another arts unit, and Takasugi's quick, isn't he? Yeah, okay. So we ended up getting literally another quick and another arts, but yeah, like, the difference here, though, too, is that there's quite a bit of time between these two units. And I think that's kind of what they realized. They realized that Tame Tomo, like, they were thinking probably, oh, he's going to sell really well. And it's like, okay, you make him permanent. You make his charge not really that effective. You make his damage kind of poo-poo. Wait, why didn't anyone roll? And that's kind of what happened. Like, I very rarely see Tame Tomo on JP, which is kind of wild because this is the exact type of servant design that the Japanese, I feel like, would go nuts for. And there are people, I think, that do really like him. I just don't see him very often because he's not really in a good spot. So, yeah, I think that's what happened. They finally reevaluated this and go, okay, let's release a quick unit. Let's release another arts unit. Maybe we'll mix things up some. And then hilariously enough, you release arts unit, arts unit, arts unit. Of which two of which can change their NP. So that's kind of funny as well. But the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, the devs seemingly do some dumbass shit with how they release units. And there definitely is, like, a weird sort of, like, order to things where you go, like, hold on, we just got one of these, or hold on, this is added to a class that we already just have a ton of. So why would we be rolling at that point, right? Like, in that regard, I don't necessarily get it. So that's where, like, looking back at something like Asclepius' buff here, yeah, it's just weird to me. Like, you could have just ended up buffing him quick, and I think that would have actually been better. But it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to say it's a bad buff. It's a good buff for him. It's a buff that's kind of a head scratcher and makes me go, like, do they actually think these things out very much? And, like, maybe they do, right? Like, maybe the whole reason Asclepius didn't get a quick steroid and got an arts one instead is because there is a new quick 3-star coming, right? Like, that could absolutely be a thing. But yeah, I mean, oh my God, would anyone be upset if all of a sudden Quick had multiple options? compared to arts at this point, it's absolutely left in the dumpster. So like, dear Lord, I don't think anyone would be like, oh no, you can't make Asclepius quick. All right, let's talk about Cleo. Now, you guys remember I did say I thought it was going to be Semiramis for this buff. And I do want to say, show me on your bingo card if any of you had Asclepius getting the buff. Like I'm legitimately curious if anyone actually predicted that one, because I'll call you a liar. but no, like Cleo's definitely one of the ones that I think a lot of us had like predicted, right? Like, if it weren't going to be Semiramis, Cleo absolutely needed it. Cleo's still always kind of been good for her challenge comps. She just naturally has really good card performance. And the thing I'm going to point out here, chat, is she's a very early unit in the game. And yet, look at these hit counts, right? That already tells you some really good signs. Her NP gain rate was already over 1%. And, oh, would you look at that? She has charge per turn and NP gen up of 40% in her kit. Her card performance has never been in doubt. It's always been strong. It's always been good. That being said, they ended up buffing this middle skill. And part of the reason that they did is because Cleo has been one of those Imperial Privilege units. You know the ones, chat. Are happy-go-lucky Emperor or Empress type characters that just suck because they're RNG. And they ended up taking this RNG and telling it to go fly a kite, which is really, really good. And here's why. So you guys can see, originally the skill started out with NP gen rate for 3 turns, NP charge 10% every turn for 3 turns. This is the whole reason that Cleo actually could 3-turn. It just required a K-scope and double Oberon for that to happen, which meant that the early waves for it were just really, 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 really bad. Third wave was pretty good, but that definitely depended on whether or not you had something like, again, your Imperial Privilege proccing. And then the ability to heal herself. And that's not the only reason that she's good at challenge either here, right, chat? She does have the ability to heal herself, and she does have the ability to cleanse, grant herself crit stars, and invincibility. So she has been a unit that has been very strong in terms of capability for surviving down the stretch of a fight. This is why I've said, like, yeah, Cleo didn't really need it in terms of like actual quality of life. Where she really needed it was the damage department. And thankfully, this kind of does both. So it's a really solid upgrade. It's pretty much everything that she needed all in one skill. So in that regard, I do like it. I do think it's kind of nice. Aurelia, what are you doing? What are you doing, Aurelia? You get out of there. Get out of there, Aurelia. She just keeps getting closer and closer. Okay. So, at this point, chat, basically, they ended up upgrading the skill. And what they did is they gave her 30% charge, which, fantastic. Now you're going to lower this skill if you didn't have it already. And this is going to turn her into a unit that absolutely can be used in a 3-turn double Koyanskaya setup. So she shakes off the confines, the shackles of double Oberon Koyanskaya, and she ends up coming into the double Koyanskaya comp. This is interesting for a couple of reasons, because not only does it mean that she's going to be able to double up this charge skill, and that means that she's going to be somebody that can be in that Koyanskaya comp, as we mentioned, but it also means that we're going to have the ability to double up Imperial Privilege as well. I mean, technically, we can also double up the 3rd skill, but that's not really that relevant other than Crit Star Bomb, assuming we're farming, right? The cool part about this is they also add the one missing thing to her kit. I think they've just kind of decided, you know what? Yeah, the players do hate RNG. They straight up are removing gacha from their gacha game. And that's good. Because the only place there really should be gacha at this point is in the actual gacha. So, in that regard, now all of a sudden you get the 40% buff success rate. If you manage to lure the skill, which you're already probably going to just for the charge, you're going to end up at a point where you're going to be able to secure Imperial Privilege. Not only will this have 100% proc chance, then it will also be able to be doubled up. So this is a really, really solid buff for her. The hilarious part is, now that I've told you all of this, Cleo's damage doesn't really get that much better. It's actually kind of hilarious in that regard. We're going to show you guys what I mean by that. So, taking a quick look here, this is Cleo pre-buff. This is a double Oberon level 100 K-scope type setup. So again, you guys can see NP1 here, definitely anemic, particularly without the Imperial Privilege. With the Imperial Privilege, okay, it's pretty solid. Now this is her in the new system with double Koyanskaya and a level 100 cranking. So we've gone from a K-scope to cranking. And that's definitely really, really good for her, as it is going to be where a good chunk of the damage change off comes from. But you guys can see here, this is NP1 with the old system and NP1 with Imperial Privilege. And then now here, this is just NP1. There is no more RNG. The interesting prospect for this is that it doesn't really change that much between the Imperial Privilege success and the new version with a better comp. So the comp's not making a huge difference here. Part of the reason for this is because you're not tapping into Black Grail. Black Grail plus Oberon tends to be a crazy modifier, so that is definitely one of the considerations. Cleo also doesn't really have NP damage up anywhere in her kit, so it's not really anything that she's going to get unique, extra benefit from in terms of like Oberon and stuff. So in that regard, I do think this is still a very nice buff for her, like composition wise. It's very nice usability wise. It's very nice consistency wise. Damage wise, at least on paper, not that huge of a jump. But that is assuming the proc. So again, if we go back and we don't assume the proc, you're talking 31, 50, and 152. To the new system being 67, 86, and 231. Yeah, there's a huge difference there. But comparing the Imperial Privilege in the old system with the Imperial Privilege in the new system, you're now looking at 44, 70, and 203 versus 67, 86, and 231. So you got about a 30k jump here that kind of gets a little bit more swollen as you get to the third wave. But I do believe that that's a really, really nice thing. I think the thing that I was surprised by when I did end up going and looking at Avalon's numbers here is that I'm actually really surprised that the first two levels in particular just don't get any better. Yeah, what the hell are you doing? Anyway, y'all making her dance literally off the screen. So yeah, I'm really surprised in that regard that this did not actually end up getting stronger. I really expected that with the better system, having the double Koyanskaya setup, that it would have been better. The reality is when you switch from a double Oberon setup to a double Koyanskaya setup, you still have the Koyanskaya because you rotate her basically out right at the beginning. Okay? Or at least very close. Maybe you don't in turn 1, but you do usually by turn 2. So by turn 2, you've already reached a decent level of you have the Koyanskaya buffs up and you have double Oberon NP damages. Okay? And that does allow for some damage. But when we start comparing it to this other system, yeah, you have double Koyanskaya Buster buffs, but you don't get the NP damage from Oberon until turn 3. So this kind of front loads, this front loads for wave 1, this front loads for wave 2. So by wave 2, they're pretty even-ish. And then in wave 3, certainly things will take off depending on how you have it set up. But it is an interesting thing in that regard. Now she will respect your space? Doubt. But yeah, that's kind of why I'm saying it's yeah, I'm somewhat surprised that this didn't make a huge difference here. It does make a bigger difference in NP1. And now I'm going to make you all depressed. These are gray numbers. So gray just flat out still wins. There's no extra thing here. Gray just wins. So even with this buff, Cleo is now a lot more usable. Cleo is now, we'll say, competitive, but she's not necessarily going to be able to like really like out damage a lot of her other contemporaries yet. Okay. Even if we start to compare someone like, say, Koyanskaya right now, again, you've obviously got power mods at play there, so it is what it is. Now, to make you less depressed, or maybe more depressed, depending on how you want to look at things, chat, because even though we, you know, like the gray numbers here are pretty strong, I can show you that there is somebody who's worse. So, like I said, it might make you more depressed. But this is the problem, right? Like this is why they really do need to be giving us like a Semiramis upgrade. This is why I was predicting Semiramis. Like Cleo even with the old system, chat. Even with the old system is right there, right? Like right there. And Cleo is way more of a challenge-oriented unit than Semiramis is. So, yeah, Semiramis is just not in a good spot. She's a semi-damage dealer, yeah. I'm sorry, it's like, this is just atrocious. This has no reason being this bad. Like, they straight up just need to end up, like, giving her a massive steroid or some sort of a crazy increase. Because, like, this is just getting the pants beat off of it by just about every other AoE at this point. You do worse in waves 2? Yeah. Well, it has to do with the order of operations with her skills and the fact that there's debuffs at play. Isn't Semiramis the worst star generator as well? I actually don't know that off the top of my head. I do know that she consumes stars, so that's naturally a problem, but to be honest, I wish they would also buff shooting. Yeah, I don't think a shooting buff would be like crazy at this point. I think they absolutely could. Huh? What you guys do to Aurelia there? No idea, but you don't care because Koyan star bombs. Yeah, like and that's part of the reason why I don't like know something like that, chat. It's the truth. Like, I really don't have to sit down and actually learn who's the best for like star generation amongst the buster units when every single buster support grants stars. What do I mean by every single buster support? Well, every single 5-star one, basically. You've got Merlin, gives it with his NP per turn. Heck, got Himiko. She gives it literally per turn with her first skill. You've got Oberon, gives it with his second skill. You've got Koyanskaya, gives it with her second skill. Heck, even Koyan of Dark grants it with one of her skills when you card. So, like, yeah, it ends up not being a huge issue. Which is why Quick is in shambles. It certainly doesn't help, right? Like, it's one of the reasons that as we start to look and analyze as to like why the Quick system struggles in comparison to the other systems, that's why, right? Like, I see a lot of people, like especially on the challenge into things, saying like, oh no, Quick's still really good, and they're not wrong, right? Like, that to me is where Quick really does stand out. But that's usually in Quick standing out because it's still relying on units from either outside its system, or because it has like a gimmick build where it's like, oh hey, like Van Gogh, right? Where it's like, I'm gonna stun you, I'm gonna crit you to death. It's more like offensive and proactive mitigation than actual survivability down the stretch. And that's kind of one of the things that I think is a problem and a concern with Quick. I wish they'd buff Da Vinci Caster for a art unit. Her refund is kind of sad. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, Da Vinci Caster at this point, she still has 50% charge, so you could definitely brute force her, but it is a concern. Nightingale also has a star bond on her Buster buff. Yep. Thank you. I totally forgot about Nightingale. I probably shouldn't, but I did. You want to know, like, chat, if we see a 5-star Berserker like buff coming, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna be like, Nightingale. I know she's had a lot of upgrades. She still needs more. Quick's in shambles because of odd nodes, I thought. Depending on the quick unit, depending on the structure of the node, yeah, that can definitely be a thing. Good thing you can buy her if you have both Scotties. Yep. They're going to give MHXA a 50% battery. I wouldn't even know how to process that. Like, that would be a case of the rich getting richer. That would just be a case of all of a sudden, like, man, they are just going nuts with that. Like, less so anything else. Chat with the bully. Musashi Berserker could use a buff. Huh. What do you mean? Cause like I don't see that. Predictions for tomorrow's bus. Well, that's what I was trying to look at earlier. I was asking if someone in chat had the listing again, but let me see here. It's Rider and Assassin. I'm thinking Summer Nito, who has needed it for years and years and years and years. She's a Summer 2 unit. She's never received any love, and her kit is atrocious at this point. It's very tanky, very defensive, but if you want to use her for anything other than that, it's absolutely pathetic. I'm between a rock and a hard place on this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Kets. I'd prefer it to be made alter. I would like to see some love for Iskandar, but I don't know why. Something's screaming in my head that it's Kets. Carry mage craft skill. Europa needs some love. She does. Like there's a ton of units. Like, to me, the 5-star Rider one's pretty open. Like, it's really like we can all look at this and we can say Ozzy does not need a buff. It's difficult to argue against literally anyone else. Like, and I'm dead serious about that, chat. Like, can y'all like maybe Ivan, right? Like, maybe Ivan and Ozzy are the two that we can maybe argue that don't really need it. And like, I can still come up with some logic for Ivan. And the logic for Ivan is, yo, dog, why you losing to Tiamat? So, like, at that point, I can still come up with some amount of logic. Drake is fine, but I wouldn't mind her if they buffed her again, though. Oh yeah, yeah, just totally buff Drake again. I'll be the extreme beneficiary of that. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a Drake buff, but I certainly would not like I would chuckle, I would laugh, I would be happy, and I would also understand if everyone were upset. Nemo, I could see Nemo getting something. Raider just needs a mass damage buff, pretty much at this point. Like, I think that is the like the truth of the matter, is that there's at this point a lot of units that could receive some kind of love. It's gonna be a Maeve buff. I'm gonna be real with you. I just hope it's not a Maeve buff, because Maeve's already received like 3. God, I hope tomorrow is Hokusai. Huh? I hope it's a Maid buff. That's what I said. Like, Maid is the one, like, Maid Altar is the one that I really hope receives some love. I would like to see people actually like put some respect on her again and stop like treating her like trash. But it is what it is. Or Achilles. I mean, my only issue with Achilles in actuality is just Achilles' refund is really fucky. But he's a really good challenge unit, and now with like Oberon existing in the game, Achilles hasn't really been an issue. Do we get Famitsu here tomorrow? I believe so. Oh, I got you, Trubs. I just saw. Yeah, so Trubs is telling me he's going to be streaming the Famitsu translation tomorrow. So here you guys go. Okay. I'm gonna go literally give this a like and a repost. So, and I will say this, okay? Hear me out on this, chat. Every single time this article comes out, every single time, we get people that go, oh, I'm an armchair translator. This is what it says. And I'm gonna give you guys some bullet notes, and I'm gonna like quickly TLDR it for you. Trust me when I say this, you want to watch Trubs. Japanese is a complex language, and I have seen so many times those machine translations, those TLDRs, those bullet points be freaking wrong, particularly in the last like 2 years here. I have seen people get things terribly wrong with the conception of things. So trust me when I say this. You want to watch Trubs. And usually what I like to do, chat, is I like to go in and I like to summarize it for you guys and try to like talk to you guys about it as well. So bet my life on it. Yeah, the cover art is absolutely fantastic. So make sure you guys you know, obviously give some love to Famitsu if you have the opportunity to. Nasu advocates for Skibbity Riz. I don't know about that. Ren fans are gonna get diabetes with how good they ate this year. Yeah, I know. And that's why, chat, you guys can go into your next 9-year hiatus. No. Actually, it's not 9 years, right? It's like 6. Think about an Odysseus buff. I wouldn't hate it. I think Odysseus could use something. Total 19 multis for an easy NP5. Well, there you go. Clearly she liked the fact that you were throwing money at her. If the game lasts until the next Rin phase. Oh, come on, chat. I'm sure it will. Because that's exactly what they'll throw out as the final banner before it ends. Here's actual Rin in FGO. Give us your money before the game closes down. Do you think maybe Summer Shufu could be a quick support we were waiting for? I don't know, right? Like, it's really interesting. I do wonder, is like she just going to be another arts unit again, so that she's synergistic with herself. But yeah, I mean, she might end up being, right? Maybe they rectify that whole like, well, you should have made Shufu quick argument. Watch Summer Shufu be a Buster support. Yep. When's the next Sakura face coming? I don't know. I will say, like, y'all are okay. You ate good last year and the year before that. So I think, like, you're still fine for now, but we'll see, right? Like, I don't really know what Nasu's doing, because I thought he was going to do more of the Sakura 5, but he's really kind of like, you know, like with like Durga and stuff kind of gone his own way. A new CCC event with Khadroth drop. Yeah, I could see that eventually, right? I've heard, will this unit be the next quick support for the last 3 years? Yeah, and it's why, like, I can humor the argument, I can humor the idea, but like, chat, y'all notice that I don't really put much stock in it, right? Like, I don't know. It's like, it is what it is. It's a nice thing if they do it, but we're years overdue for that, just like we are a coin fix. I mean, who knows, right? Chat, you might literally see like, what about like, okay, Summer, Banner 2, Khadroth. Like you may get another Sakura face right here with Banner 2. You may end up like having you know, like Passion Lip or Parvati or King Prote or something like that show up. So we'll see. We still don't know what Banner 2 is. Also, them saying February of 2025 is the end of part 2. They did not say February of 2025 is the end of part 2. They said 2025 is the end of part 2, not February specifically. Yeah, so, and the reason why I'm saying that, chat, that does not mean you have like 7 months left. That means you have like, I don't know, like 18 months left. The difference there is substantial. And before December? Oh yeah, no, that's 100% what I expect. I straight up expect that that you're not gonna see the end of it until December. Because chat, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You need to fully expect that they pull another like Solomon. Okay? You're gonna get another Temple of Time. It's gonna straight up be something like, it won't be Temple of Time. It'll just be a similar type of deal where it's like, here is the closing chapter that we now have to like fight against, like, I don't know, fucking Gaia or some shit. Memento Mori, etc. Oh no, I expect it that's what everyone will think it'll be, and it'll actually be the inverse. Does chat know what the inverse of Memento Mori is? Yeah, it's Memento Vivere. Don't forget that you also have to live. Life goes on. So they're gonna bait you thinking that you die, and then you're straight up gonna be like, oh man, we gotta keep going. Now what do we do after we save the world again? Yeah, vivre, vivir, I'm not sure how you actually say it. Morimento, yes. Die and Rise is the chosen undead. Yeah, okay, so you basically are, you know, the protagonist of Dark Souls 1. And then we have to fight through the entirety of the Dark Souls series and Elden Ring. And after that, once you burn the Erd Tree, then you wake up in the back of a cart in Skyrim. And it just keeps going. Hello, Peaceful. Also was going to ask, is Takasugi good? He's not bad. I think the biggest issue that we have right now with our AoE archers is just how dominant units like Gil and Ishtar really are. But he is certainly not a bad unit. Is it modded Skyrim? No. It's not. It's original Skyrim, chat. You must defeat Todd Howard to get out. The last boss is a coin fist. As long as chat understands. Also, I'm glad you guys are liking the new emotes. Just real quick here, just to give you a listing of them, because dear Lord, I don't remember them all off the top of my head. So just to give you guys a listing of the changes here. I did add a missing emote, chat. You guys didn't have this emote for a long time, even though I straight up showed it to you back when I originally had it commissioned. Cad Derp exists. It has now been added back. You guys saw Bork, Sweating, Duding, and Munch already. And we also have Not Like This, which is new, getting emoted. Or animated, rather. Like, so Not Like This was already a normal static emote, but now it's been animated. Monk of Christ, aka Cad Christ, is now there, which is great because we're heading into October soon. So we are basically getting to the point where, you know, horror is back on the menu. And then Cad Gift has been animated now, and Cad Gib has been animated now, which is a really nice one. I really like the way Gib looks because the pause on the yeah, I was gonna say the pause on the Doge are like really cute. It's difficult to see at a small size, but it like flips over and over and over again. Let's see if I can find it to you to show you. Yeah, like this, chat. Spare some Saint Court, sir. Yes. I also we were when we were doing this one when Kato was animating it, we were referring to it as uppies as well. Like give uppies. Ordeal Call 3 is likely Catholic related too, so good for that too. Don't say that. Don't say that. Because that means it's gonna be Amakusa, and I'm gonna be angry if Amakusa gets any more time at this point. I don't know. Like, I'm not, right? I'm just wanting my waifu to get a buff. But, like, I'm terrified that it's gonna be Amakusa again somehow. Like that's actually my worst case scenario. Amakusa and Gigapope. I would actually like to see Gigapope get some more love. So if they wanted to do like Amakusa, Gigapope, John, and do a story around that, I feel like that could be really cool. At least Amakusa isn't perm. Right, but Peanut, that's why they keep buffing him. It's because he's not permanent like John. We'll get another John buff. Honestly, I'm A-okay with that. If they give us another John buff, I'll be pissed that waifu goes even longer without a buff, but I'll take it. More Janu buffs, exactly. they buffed this motherfucker's whole kit and John gets 0 love. Yeah. And it's kind of wild because, like, you know, again, we've talked about Castoria and stuff, and I'm like, listen, if you want to lessen the amount of impact that Castoria has on the entire game as a whole, the easiest way is to make other competitors to Castoria. And the easiest way to do that is to just buff the existing units that you have. So one of the issues that we do end up with at this point in time is that, like, John used to be Castoria before Castoria. And John just is way worse at playing that role for right now. Castoria not only gets people to their NPs faster, but she's also just more offensive. I'm okay with having both, but I think they need to find a way for John to stand out. And I think they need to end up doing something where her kit is just way more applicable and way easier for her to kind of not only herself get to an NP, but also propel the rest of the party to, you know, like themselves either looping or enhancing damage, which we did see with the buff to her second skill. So I'm hoping they really come back in and they buff her other 2 skills as well. And I will say this too, chat. We often talk about, so like, for instance, if we look at someone like Jack. Okay. So you look at Jack. Jack actually had a half NP interlude. What do I mean? Well, if she had a full NP interlude, then NP2 would have become NP1, right? So that 1600 would have become, or sorry, the 1600 would have become NP1. But instead, with her NP interlude, it only went to 1400. She only got half an interlude. So we've talked about before, like, hey, what if they buff Jack to actually, like, fix Jack in that regard? Same thing actually applies with John. And I don't know if people even realize this. So if we go look at John's NP, her NP originally had this shit-ass demerit. Okay? When we got the NP interlude, it turned the demerit into a positive. That was really good. You know what it didn't do, though? And it's the only NP interlude that I've ever seen that does this. Look at this, chat. No difference in scaling. She got an NP interlude that got rid of a demerit and didn't improve the NP otherwise. And listen, we've talked about this before. This 5% is trash. It's so bad. So, like, yeah, it's actually kind of wild. Like, John has had, we'll call it half an interlude as well. She never got the boost to her actual MP levels. So to me, she is one of the prime candidates for getting a second NP interlude. They're scared of making her too tanky. Well, I can understand that. I think they just absolutely should. Bodic has a similar thing. Does she? Does she really? That's news to me if she does. Okay, so increases party's defense for 3 turns, 10, and then, yeah, normal scaling there. Gets the defense up. Wow. Yeah, they actually didn't enhance the base part of the NP. They only added party attack to the overcharge effect. What a trash upgrade. Like, and this is why I still stand by this, that, like, Bodica's also been done dirty. Like, she's more usable now than she used to be, but she's still not very good as a support. They don't buff defense, yeah. They actively hate Bodica at this point. I don't know that they do, but I think, like, yeah, she's a popular servant in the community. At least, like, character-wise and design-wise, like, people either find her hot or they really like the fact that she's a, like, doting big sister. So it's one of those two issues for a lot of people. But yeah, like, I don't really know why they haven't given her more attention. Like, she is a prime candidate, chat, to get, like, hey, now you're a 4-star as a gotchable unit. Like, I'm gonna say this, I think they could turn Bodica into a 5-star, and I think people would roll like crazy if it were a summer version of her. So, like, I think she is that popular, at least with the Japanese side. I don't know about the NA side, but if I remember correctly, there's one more. Yeah, see if you can find it. I'm just curious, because, like, obviously, one, I don't want to tell chat wrong, but two, I would like to know who got fucked, right? Like, because to me, these units shouldn't be. None of the units that got that treatment are in a good spot. Like, it's, oh, hey, we're concerned about making them too strong. Yeah, okay. Okay. Tiamat exists. Kukulkan exists. Dad, have you heard of the Boudica Destruction Lair? No, I can't say that I have. And I'm moderately terrified. For Daeon, they have the Charm, aka OC Charge, but the rest didn't. Yeah, that's right. Daeon's also another one. I did forget about Daeon. Which I think everyone at this point has, unfortunately. Daeon's also not in a good spot. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but they took Daeon out of the starter roles, and I celebrated that. Like, it was a great thing that they took her out, or him out, or whatever, like, Daeon wants to be, out. Because, at the end of the day, Daeon just absolutely had really weird overlap with MASH. So, to me, Daeon was arguably just the worst person to start with. Especially since if you really needed another tank, you had pretty easy access to two of them in the FP pool. Turn Daeon into a 4-star set. Yeah, I mean, like, there are numerous ways you could make Daeon a little bit more interesting. And that's, like, at this point in time, I really low-key wish that they would actually go and, like, give some love to some of these units, like find inventive and creative ways to, like, change the gameplay up. Caligula's another one. Caligula I can see. Caligula's in a weird spot. I think more than anything, like, what we're kind of noticing here is a lot of them are these support NPs. Like, that's kind of what's going on. So you have a non-damaging NP, and they give you an upgrade, so you get a non-standard upgrade. They need to start doing more buffs? Oh, I mean, listen, preaching to the choir here, right? You guys know I've been stumping for that one for a long time. So it be what it be. Okay, chat. It is time. I have covered everything. I've given you guys my predictions for literally, like, everything. Let's play some horny game. Sometimes they reveal the welfare at Famitsu, don't they? They did with... Well, I don't remember if she was already revealed before Famitsu or not, but I was going to say Da Vinci Ruler was the focus of the Famitsu article one year. But like I said, I don't remember if that was revealed ahead of time. We need more anti-female units besides Jack and Carmilla. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate that. I don't know if it's like, oh, they're trying to prevent, like, more bad stuff. Oh, hold on here, chat. D&D group is getting rowdy. Let me put myself in streamer mode. There we go. Are there any anti-male servants? You? Well, there's also Proto-You, aka Tamamo Lancer. I'm sorry, chat. That sounded awful. I blame Chop. Same. If you guys haven't seen First Descendant, this is a... How do I put this? This is like a mixture of, like, Warframe and Destiny 2. And a couple of my buddies have been playing this lately. I had some friends that got me into it. and I'm enjoying my time with it so far. I didn't get to play it much, like, you know, pre-debut, but now post-debut, it's where I've been spending the majority of my time. You take that back. Listen, you know it's true. You know it's true, chat. Okay, you guys can see. Come on, get in there. You guys can see a lot of the women in this game are attractive. That's the best way I can say this to you guys. Hello, Kitsune. How's it going? Tama Lancer greater than you, fight me. At this point, I would agree with you in all seriousness. I think just for ease of access, obviously Consort U's got that really going for her, but thankfully they did end up giving Tama the like charge upgrade, and that really helped Tama get used. I do think Tama Lancer needs another buff. Like, I'm dead serious. You guys can ask VIP what my first reaction was to seeing the announced list of the strengthenings. My immediate reaction was, why no Lancers? That was literally my very first reaction. Because, like, there's so many Lancers at this point that need an upgrade to me. So, chat, like I said, you can see there are so many attractive females in this game. So, this right here ends up being Sharon. She's this is like Solid Snake if Solid Snake was a woman.
Because I exist in their blind spot.
And basically, I've also got Bunny. Bunny's a really nice one as well.
Are you ready to be shot?
This is what if we turned the Energizer Bunny into a hot woman. There's Viessa. She's your Ice Queen.
Wanna feel a chill?
But not necessarily as, like, you know, cold personality-wise. And then there's Freyna. She's your toxin person, your poison ivy.
If you want to live.
Also maybe like your punk rocker, right? Let me see here. Let me see if there's anything else that I was gonna go get into. But what I was doing is I was actually farming with Zen earlier. We were farming out some materials here. Let me actually see if I can go do some of the things. Am I still... Okay, so I'm public now. I think it's... Wait, is it? No, that's the Void Fragment. Ah, it's that sucker all the way up here. And I need Polymer Void Shards, which I at least know how to get. So, where do I need to go? I need to go to Fortress. I need to come up here to this Void Mission Fragment that I've been farming. So go to the Outpost and I'll change over. How close are you to unlocking Lepic? I basically need like 3 more materials, so this is working on one of them. Lepic is gonna be my first male character at this point, and what he is he is a like really good boss killer. We're gonna be switching over to Viessa. I do have Viessa's summer skin. You guys can see it's very nice, and it's definitely a really like cool outfit. These skins are how the game makes money. This is a purchase skin. I did purchase it, so it be what it be. But you can't blame me, chat. It do look good. But there is like elemental types in the game, and this is where like, okay, so I have a frost character here. She's actually the only frost character in the game at the moment, and I have to use a frost skill in order to trigger this. I'm gonna go ahead and plop down my little Nova here, and you guys can see it's essentially just easy yeets everything in the area. There we go. Whoop. Just out of range. Was it gonna spawn more? Did I not get the thing? Okay, there we go. And so there's like 3 stages of this. Ooh, my character's build right now is extremely squishy. You're gonna see me like doing all sorts of stuff, just trying to like trick the enemies into running forward here. Oh, it looks like we got some ads. Normally, I'm not doing these alone, but it should be possible. My characters are not like fully built out yet or anything like that, but I do have several at max level. There we go. I just got downed. Gonna try to bait them in. Third person, pretty much the same modding system. Yeah, it's very, very similar to Warframe. They actually have been doing some nice stuff. That everyone's apprehension with this game is that it's run by Nexon, but we're wondering if it's like not the normal group of Nexon employees.
Take this.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Got it done. And so I just got basically void shards from that. Go, got it. Doing a 120 waiver full gauge comma run. Any tips? 120 waiver full gauge comma run. What does that mean? Like you're only going to be using waiver and comma for the entirety of the game? Okay, so they're actually aggroing all of them. Oh, comma full gauge. Sorry, yeah, my brain derped out there. You're talking about Oku. Any tips for comma full gauge? The biggest issue is you either need to blast her really fast or control those clones, because you can get in deep doo-doo if you let them hang around for too long.
Take this. This could get messy.
Okay. All these are either just like health or ammo, and then like occasionally if you see like something purple, it's usually a drop. If you see something big and golden drop, that's a legendary. You can't actually see like right over my shoulder here on my model. There is some stuff kind of poking through. Oh, whoops. No! I missed it. That means I gotta redo this this round.
One icicle coming up.
I'm just gonna back off, try to bait them. Guns do have kicks, so you guys can see it is somewhat difficult for me to hit everything head on.
Stay where you are. Watch carefully.
Okay, we got some suicide bombers. Okay, thank God somebody else joined me. This should make it go a little bit faster. Nexon's also a big caution point. Yep. And that's all I'm going to say is like right now, the only thing that's really like monetized is basically you can either pay to get the characters faster without grinding, which I'm like, I don't know, in a game like this the entire point is the grind, or you can like pay to buy skins. Otherwise it's pretty much straightforward. And so everything that is monetized is like, it's totally up to you if you want to spend money on it. They don't really force you to. The only issue is that right now, again, like the skins have no free-to-play way of being worked towards. But you can totally like max out a unit and everything. You can get all the ultimate versions of units without like ever spending any sort of money. Ooh. Wow. Both of our skill shots were short. Didn't have the distance. But this is just me farming up some shards so I can go do a boss. Because like essentially I'm having to unlock certain items here. Okay, he got it.
It's mine.
And got him.
Loading.
Just gonna keep throwing it in. The real big thing that I've already noticed in terms of damage, it's very easy to get a unit up and running. Like you just max out their level. Like the hardest part of the game is getting your first unit like online. But essentially, like once you get the first unit through the story, you get them to max level. It's pretty like easy to then get other units up. The hardest part of things is going to be the grind for like getting a unit unlocked and crafting them. But once you've gotten the unit unlocked, leveling them up, gearing them out, it's actually not going to be that difficult. Ooh, suicide bomber. I'm not sure why he's not really using his Z. The Z is really powerful for stuff like this.
This is the ultimate chill. Free. This could get messy.
We keep getting ads over here from the side.
How dare they break my shield? Take this.
Okay, got him. Probably do like one more run of this. Oh, really? It's sometimes off screen and then jumps back and dancing. Yeah, a lot of that's just the jank with certain dances. Some of them like take her in like weird directions. Oh, did he leave? He did. Well, I guess I'm done. Okay. So where I needed to go was Vespers. And then, like I said, I needed to go all the way up here to the Abyssal Void Fusion. It's probably better if I come all the way down here, but we'll see. Like, I'm going to try to do this on my bunny. My bunny is actually my fantastic farmer. I had to use Viessa there because that was an ice-specific mission. But normally, bunny's how I get things done because she's probably my best equipped character. You guys will see why here in a minute. She is just kind of one of the game's really good farmers at the moment. Basically, she is, as I mentioned before, what if we made the Energizer Bunny hot? I also have a backpack where she has a polar bear with a soda can that's shaking. I think it's one of the, like, launch campaign things. Because the game is still relatively new. It's in its, like, I want to say, like, first month here, or second month. But basically, she just has a really, really nice boost. It charges up her electricity gauge. My mana goes down, though. Those are the gauges that you guys are seeing down there at the bottom. And then, essentially, I'm just going to keep running north here as we try to head towards the boss. Don't want to completely use all of my mana, though. Your energy gauge, like, your mana gauge will go down, but her, like, lightning, electricity, energy gauge won't go down as long as you're moving. So Bunny's big mechanic is just always be moving. He is literally just a hyperactive type of character. And you guys can see if I do double jump and land, I do a like shock pulse. Also, if I travel far enough, while my V is activated, I'll do a shock pulse. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Let's see just how well we can get this sucker done. Oh, okay. Spicy meatball. This is why I'm just rolling here. I'm line of sighting him. Gonna keep hopping while he's in range. I can hit him through walls, which is really hilarious because he can't actually hit me. Legally distinct. So that's another bunny right here. We're just shocking him to death. Getting them up.
Hey, am I shorting out already?
Ow. Ow. You can see why I don't really want to get hit by this guy. All right, he's immune. You can see sometimes it procs for like a 200,000 crit though. I don't know why they're not line of sighting him. Like, it is pretty clear dude be doing damage. They might not understand. So you can see I'm getting not only my normal pulse from my V move, but I am also getting the shock pulse from when I land from a double jump. And so I am just damaging his ass right through the wall. It's not like amazing damage, don't get me wrong, because again, she's more of like an AoE farming unit. Ow! I got clipped by that. Holy shit. I did that just to get more charge back. Holy shit, shapoopy. That hurt. Okay, so we've got these two amorphous material patterns. The one I need is here. It's the one with the Lepic code. There's also Ultimate Glay. I swear to God, I already have like 2 Ultimate Glays. So, which, you know, Zen keeps saying it's streamer luck. I keep getting ridiculously lucky with that. Just double checking here. Yeah, so you got Ultimate Bunny and Ultimate Valby in these others. But we're going to be doing this one. We're going to be trying to get the Lepic unlock. We don't get it. It's only a 10% chance. So we shall see. Do I actually have the stuff to do this? Yeah, I got enough to do this like 2 more times.
No chance. Out of my way.
Oh, looks like we got a third player to join. It's a Lepic, so this is actually the guy that I'm trying to unlock. You guys can see he does these like redonkulous little like blazing sun AoEs.
Hey, am I sorting out already?
And it's making the fight go way faster. Oh, he is on me. Oh, shit. I didn't think he was. Oh! Oh! He finally clipped me.
Time for a real round.
Yeah, I had people tell me like, oh, the rates are really low in this game. And I'm like, I play gacha games. I play Fate Grand Order. You have no idea what hell is.
Hey, am I sorting out already? Right.
Okay, down he goes. Millennium Frost. Oh, we got a legendary drop from that. Okay, we're still gonna keep going for the first one here. Hopefully I get it. I do not. Like I said, it's only a 10% rate. The issue is I only have like 6 of these things right now, and I don't have enough shards to even do this repeatedly. But you can see, because the shock that I do is based off the amount of like distance that I move, it ends up being a case of like, oh, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Can he get me in here? Everybody says no. So I'm always going to try to keep a wall between me and him when possible.
Reload.
Seem to be in trouble.
I think he's after me. Yeah, he's after me again. Kind of nutty, because it probably means I'm somehow dealing more damage than the Lepic. Who's your favorite character in this game? So far, it's probably Bunny. She is actually just really fun to play with how she farms. It scratches that itch of like being able to like AoE mindless farm tons of enemies. I'll try to show that to you guys here in a second if I can. So like you can see, I'm hitting all 3 of those orbs above his head that make him invuln. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The Angie. The Angie boy. Like, this is not the intended use of Bunny. You can see the wub wub goes even faster. Oh, he actually meleeed me. Woo! Danny Raw, thank you for the phone. Okay. And we got him. Alright, so let's see if we get anything this time. Survey says no, but we did get another really rare one, which is the Crystalist blueprint here, or Catalyst blueprint. This one's pretty good as well. I believe it's made for boosting your characters, but because there are ultimate versions of characters, I've chosen not to like buff any of my normal versions, so this is just normal bunny. There is a like ultimate bunny, for instance. Let me come up over here. And wait, is it in that? I don't know. Do I actually have enough to be able to do this another time? Nope, I don't. Literally have to go farm more polymer shards for that. So let's go back to Albion. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But yeah, Bunny's probably my favorite. I do like Viessa. I do like Valby, and I haven't even unlocked Valby, but I can already just tell that I'm gonna like Valby when I manage to get her unlocked. She'll probably be the person that I focus on after Lepic here. But Lepic's like the boss killer, so that's why I'm trying to get him running. And this is sort of your capital city here. Your main hub. Should have just teleported to the other area. I keep forgetting to do that. Like, for instance, you have to research characters, chat. So you come up to Anais here, and you end up basically having all sorts of things that you can craft, but you need the parts in order to craft it. So the ones that are getting recommended to me right here are things that I actually have the capability to craft at this moment. So, for instance, I can craft like 2 legendary weapons that I haven't tried to yet. Looks like all the way on down. Yeah, I can literally craft like everything here. And it's, yeah, so finally when we get to the first character here, which is Glay, I can't craft her. But you can see I can order this just by descendants. These are your actual characters. There are several men, obviously. You do get Blair for free, but like only if you actually go out and like grind the shit for him. I have not ground the shit for him, and he's not like super necessary early on as far as I've heard. So I've been focusing on Lepic. I already have one of Lepic's pieces, but I literally have the difficult pieces for the other 2. So that's why I'm focusing on trying to get the code for him, because the code is like the rare material for him. So it's the thing that I need to just actually farm for. The other 2, if I farm out literally the purple mat on each of these, then I'll be good and I'll be able to craft it. But there's kind of no point until I actually manage to get my hands on the code at this point in time. So it's why I've kind of been doing this. Valby, like I said, is another really good one that I'll be going after next. But there are like ultimate versions of each one of them, and they're kind of the same as the original version, just with better stats. So it gives you like, hey, if you've unlocked the basic version, you can still use it, but then the ultimate version is sort of like the min-maxed version. So just like Warframe, yes, just like Warframe. These are basically ultimates are kind of like primes, is what I've been told. I've never played Warframe, so I can't speak to that in that regard, but it is a thing. And just to kind of quickly show you guys here, like I did mention, there is the shop, and the shop actually does allow you to purchase things. There is a battle pass, but from what I've seen, the battle pass is not really necessary. The biggest thing that you actually do get out of it is some occasional, like, quote unquote, like cheap currency, and then you also end up getting weapon skins, and that's really it. But you can get, I think, the cheap currency through other means. You can literally buy like descendants, so you don't have to farm them or unlock them. But again, that's kind of a, hey, do you want to like cheat the game? You can do that, but you don't need to. And then there's also like the ultimate packs as well, where you can get like again, additional resources basically for them. There are event skins, so you guys can see I did buy the Viessa one. I haven't unlocked Valby, so I haven't bothered to try, but Valby's skin is well, it's nice as well. And then there's a unisex one for all the males. And then I believe right now this was like the launch event. This is the like academy skins for people. So you guys can see there are like some interesting skins for some of the characters. Basically them in like, you know, a schoolgirl outfit plus like harnesses and like ammo pouches and everything else. There's also maid uniforms. Maid uniforms, chat. Maid uniforms. Cat on TFD, that's right. There's also the panda bundle and the dinosaur like onesie here that are currently out. But again, I don't know. I'm sure they'll add more because, like I said, this is how they make their money. It's going to be skins for characters are going to be what people are going to be after. I do hope they eventually open up a like free-to-play grindy route to getting that stuff because I think people will still be like, yo, dog, I don't got time to farm this. Just give me the skin. But that would be really, really nice if they actually did do that. So let me get on back to, where was it? Fortress. And then we got to go all the way over here. And I'm going to go equip me another round of Viesa here. Does this build have a timer? Yes, it's usually for smaller parts on a character, 8 hours for a timer. And then for the main character itself, I believe it's 16 hours. So there is a like wait duration built in, but yeah, I mean, like literally you just go farm something else while it's doing that. So you do have to wait. It is an unfortunate thing. You can pay to accelerate it, but you know, yeah, it's like, okay, just beat it by not doing that, right? That is easily the way to go. Okay, hold on. Where's my thingamajig? Loot management can be fairly easy as well. So you'll see me, I'll check any legendaries just to make sure. Like basically down at the bottom where you guys see like skill critical hit rate and skill cooldown, those are blue effects instead of like, so it's like normal effects instead of like rare or legendary. If it's gold, so like this one right here, this is a gold effect, but it's only when I'm attacking a certain type of enemy. So like none of these are really very good, and I don't see myself using them, so I can mark them all as junk and get rid of them with literally 2 button presses. Really, really nice in that sense. Ooh, oh, I finally have a actual gold shield enhancement processor. It's my only like gear piece that's not gold, but it's not a good one, really. I mean, I guess like, I guess it could be. I'll favorite it for now, but I don't really see this being that good, so I'm not gonna bother keeping it probably. No, I don't think any of these are actually worth. So goodbye. And then occasionally you can fill up with guns, but you're going to be using pretty much legendary weapons, so I don't really bother with it either. Okay, wait, hold on. There was, there it is. Need to heal up and restock my ammo. Then we'll just teleport back out here. Hopefully there's some people already there doing it. Korean Warframe? Yep. It's literally, what if you put hot people in Warframe? And for that, I like it. I definitely like games that are going, you know what? I don't need characters to just be ugly at this point. Are we starting it? If we're not okay, I was gonna say that I'm starting it if you're not starting it. Yeah, so there's definitely instancing. This is a new instance where people are actually farming this. So it's good. This is where I really want to milk this because a lot of other people are doing this at the same time too. You can see we're already through the first 2 on this sucker. This person's a really geared Viesa, and I can tell because they're managing to get their Z back really fast. You guys can see my Z still isn't back, and I have a bunch of like cooldown reductions for it. So they managed to pop it back-to-back waves. Dad, you haven't seen Mesa Prime or Wisp? I have heard they've started to like put like hotter warframes in, but I don't know. The thing I don't like about the warframes, they seem very like alien and not like human at all, and that's why I don't find them attractive. Versus like, chat, this is literally just a hot girl in a onesie, and it's great. Missed me with that shit. Okay, so again, I'm getting like 19 void shards per. I need like, what was it, like 30 something to run each one of these? Those Vespers. Yeah, I need 38 to run each one of these. So like, for instance, I could do one more here. I need to buy the Fiesta skin. It's good. I like it. It's so what I did is I just went ahead and I bought myself a full pack in the game. And I just said, screw it. I'm only going to spend the money like when I think something's actually worth it. So like the Fiesta skin is, I would probably get the Valby skin or maybe like one of the maid skins, and that'll be like it. That's my intention until they give me some other insanely hot skin that I really am like, oh man, that's fantastic. Woo! Suicide bombers. God, they are completing this so fast. I love it. Maybe the duration time on their thing. The Coomer cache, yep. I get the Valby one and definitely getting the Viesa one as well. Yeah. Have you unlocked any of the ultimate skigs?
One ice cream coming up.
Got him. Got all of them except Ajax. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know Zen. I've been playing with Zen, and Zen has, Zen's like, I want to say he's like mastery rank like 21 or some crazy crap. Like he's way up there, and he's gotten a lot of the ultimates as well. I don't think he has as many as you, though, if you have them all. Well, part of my issue is just like having the time. It's like I was super busy with debut and everything, so I haven't had the time to play like any games outside of that.
My shield is down.
I think that dude's just at this point just triggering the mission, and Kai over here is just farming everything. I got 300 plus hours in the game already. Been grinding like crazy. Yeah, he's kind of the same way, which is just like, that's nuts to me. I'm glad you guys have the time. I intended to download it and give it a try. It's a free-to-play game. I think they know, right? And the one thing I will say, and like, I trust Zen on this, right? Because Zen has played a ton of gacha games as well. Everybody's suspect of the fact that it's Nexon running this. But apparently Nexon is making like all the changes that like the community's asking for, which is like nuts, right? Like you don't expect that to be the case. But so, like, my advice is if you guys find it interesting, but you're worried about Nexon, download it, give it a try, see how you feel about it, and then don't spend any money on it, right? Like, and you'll see, the game is not, like, prohibitively hard to not spend money on. The only temptation is the skins. Or I guess if you just didn't want to grind and you just wanted to, like, buy a character, but at that point, like I said, I feel like the purpose of these games is to grind, right? Like, so to me, okay, so they both left. So let's go back to Vespers, see if we can go Yeetus, Deletus, our boy there. Gotta sleep, got work in the morning. Nah, it's all good. Maybe they learned after being sued over Maple Story. Maybe. Or like, you know, our current theory is it's probably just a different, less scummy team, right? Again, who knows? Maybe at some point they decide to make it pay to win, but at that point it's like, you know, just enjoy your time with the game and just say, whatever, fuck it. Like, if they do that, I quit. I think it's unfortunately, this is the mentality we have to have with live service games nowadays, is just like, if the game is going to try to take advantage of you, just don't play. It's that simple. I think that really is the way to like think about these things at this point in time. I played in one of the first betas a bit like a year ago. Might give it another shot. Yeah, go for it. Always happy to have other people to play with. Zin's been helping me out a ton. He's been like running me through stuff. One of the things I find really interesting and hilarious is the fact that like there are actual stealth missions in the game. And stealthing is literally like sneaking into a mission point and then like just straight up like doing the objective and then murder hoboing the boss. Oh, yep. Went the wrong direction here. Ooh, piece candy. You do need a lot of materials though, so things like that hardener that I just picked up, if you break something like that, just go pick it up, because again, you're gonna need a ton. Even things like these munitions things can have stuff in them. You can't hit me, chat. It's just the wall and you, buddy. Are you jumping, killing it? Yep. Takes a while, but it works. Ow. Ow, what? Yo, dog, where'd you come from? So you guys can see, this does, like... Bunny absolutely shits on, like, groups of enemies. Oh, God. That's close. Okay, back to where we were. I have no idea how those guys spawn. Ooh, ooh, close. Didn't expect them to try and go for that angle. It's not fast, but it do be cheesing. And doing this solo when I don't have a good boss killer, and my best boss killer is like a glass cannon. Yeah, this is how I do it. Pion pion indeed. Hopefully tomorrow is Summer Artoria's upgrade. Wait, but tomorrow's Riders, right? Well, I guess it depends on what time it is for you right now in the world. But yeah, I'm really hoping it's Bunny. If it's not Bunny, then hey, maybe like it's John or something. If it's not one of those two, I don't know. Wait, someone got incapacitated? Someone else in the mission with me. Why do I care that someone else got incapacitated? Which Summer Arteria? Oh, true. Yeah, maybe you meant Made Alter. Thank you to whoever subscribed on YouTube. Appreciate it. Ah! I thought he went around. Chat, we're playing a shooting game, right? And even though I'm hopping around like a bunny, I feel like I need my aviators on for this. It's the only way I can feel complete. It could be Made Alter tonight. I actually do hope it's Made Alter as well. Like, I know I'm biased, chat, but like, yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point, Made Alter does solid damage, but Made Alter could use maybe something in the way of like charge or, you know, charge per turn or like some sort of like refund based mechanic. Not immune anymore, bitch. Oh, he's like stuck. He's like He's just like jerking out there. Jump King, right? Where you're the hot babe? I don't think Jump King you play a babe. I did also see, chat, that Mecha Break has like really hot women in it. Like they have like a butt slider in it, and women be thick. Keegs, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Yeah. Slow but sure. Damn, he just stuck. Okay, I'm just gonna roll now. It's easier. Wait, did he actually hit me through the wall? I think he did. So you can also roll. You don't have to jump. And this is better than jumping because I still build up my my energy for movement. Omega roll indeed. Whoop. Not roll into him. There we go. Easy. Easy clap. Okay. Come on, Lepic. Damn it. 10% rate. Feels bad, man. Have enough for another? I got enough for another 2 runs. Oh, we got someone here finally. Yeah, go for it, Ajax. I mean, I'm not tanking this, but go for it. Ow, what the fuck? Bro just smacked me in the face. His Ajax has got to be like, what the fuck is he doing? Nope. Nope. I know where that's going. Ah!
You little...
Ah!
Reload.
Yeah, the problem is all the uneven terrain is making this difficult. Okay. Yeah, Ajax just got back up. I could have revived him, but I needed to kite him basically to another angle there. Got him. Are you playing FSN tomorrow? Yes, I will be trying to play FSN with you guys. Come on, damn it. I am so blurst in this game. I get all the rare shit that I don't need at that moment. I never get the thing I actually need. I think the Ajax is caught on, like, just corner kite him. It is easily the best way to deal with them. Ow, how did that hit me? What the fuck? And you can see the range that I have on this thing is also boosted, so it's like hitting him through walls and shit. Oh, no, 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 good sir. Ow.
Shields.
Oh, you playing TFD? Yes, we be playing TFD. We be getting... What? What was that shot? What the shit?
So slow.
Ooh. Ow. Okay, there we go. You want any help or just doing it solo? I'm probably good for right this second. Considering I don't think I have enough resources to do this again. But let me see. Yeah, I'm out of the shards for now, so time to go back to Fortress. Plus, I think I don't have that much more amorphous shit remaining, so I've got to like do something about that. Getting blasted. Well, again, it like Bunny is my like AoE farmer, so she's not really meant for boss killing. But it works, right? You can see like there is the easy cheese. It's a lot better if I do it in a more coherent way, but it does work if I manage to find a good cheese loadout for that sort of thing. Okay. Looks like we got 2 people doing it again, or maybe just 1, but either way, as long as somebody's doing it. Let's get in the mission before they finish it. Ah! Suicide bomber. Okay. This also a VSA? I think it is. I think they've got the different alternate non-blonde hairstyle.
It's mine. I'm loading. Take this. Stay where you are.
And boom, they finished it. You just gotta keep it going fast. And the thing respawns every couple seconds there. But yeah, no, like in the future, I'll absolutely love help from you guys. If you guys want, you guys can friend request me. Especially, I think if you have me on Steam, it's really easy. If not, there's my thing. It's 8257, Khadroth 8257. I love her ultimate. It just sits there and it shits out AoE. It kills so fast, sometimes they spawn in dead. Feels good, man. How the fuck did all that miss? What the shit? Okay.
Don't take me later. This could get
Oh!
messy. This could get messy.
What is this game? This is the First Descendant, aka TFD as we're calling it. It's basically like Warframe and how do I put it? Like Warframe and Destiny 2 a little bit. I'll throw an ad. Yeah, go for it. If your name is different than your name on Twitch, just let me know. Because otherwise I might like look at that and be like, who the fuck is that? Oh my gentle Jesus. Okay. What an ad wave. And it's really not hard to get legendary stuff in the game too. And you can also like focus farm. So like if you need a specific type or specific like loadout of things, it's pretty easy for the like to find a spot for that in the game. Gotcha, Keeks. Uh-oh, a little bit of oh god. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Oh, suicide bomber.
My shield is down.
Don't stop me now. You wanna have a good time? Just give me a call. Don't stop me now. Always go by Keegs. I got you. Don't stop me. 'Cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. Yeah, this goes a lot faster when there's multiple people here. Particularly when there's just a rotation on people using their ultimates. I don't know why, but the other VSs are not like using their ultimates as much. Ah, god damn it! I literally rolled right into a suicide bomber. Of course he would blow up next to me. Why wouldn't he? That dude took one for the team. Literally pulled to get down Mr. President. Oh my god, double suicide bomber. Triple suicide bomb. What the shit? Ow. PS is good at mobbing and bossing. I spent like a week making the build for her. Now I'm burnt out. I gotcha. Yeah, I haven't like min-maxed anything really. Like the biggest thing that I've focused on is trying to get some good like modules in on them, but I haven't even really gotten like some of the high-end ones. So I've tried to get them to an operatable state. Got midnight. I'm just gonna stand under my little thing. They're gonna die the second they come in it. Third wave's usually the one with all the suiciders.
Loading. It's a bit messy. I'm going to help. How dare they prick my shield?
Okay, we got it.
My shield is down. Stay where you are. Loading.
I'm also on hard mode, so this is like, think about it if you guys have played like Diablo, right? Like there's world level 1 and world level 2. This is world level 2. So I do think in the future they'll probably put yet another like higher difficulty in, and that'll probably be how they'll like expand the level of the game. And do keep in mind, I'm saying this without any knowledge of like Warframe or anything like that. So if that's how Warframe does it, then yeah, I color me not surprised. But that does seem to be the indicator, because there's only the 2 difficulties so far.
Stay where you are.
But we'll see. I do wonder what their long-term goal for the game is.
This is the ultimate.
This is the ultimate showdown. Warframe kind of does that. Yeah, I can see it. It's an easy way of just being like, okay, hey, now that you've power creeped and min-maxed, here's more difficulty. Get good. Get more gear. You're never done. So I think these games are always like, as you get enjoyment out of it. If you don't get enjoyment, probably not worth. Gonna do it again? Okay.
My shield is down. Take this.
Okay, got it. All right. Yeah, it is after 11, so I think that's going to be it for me tonight. Which is also why I was saying, like, hey, you know, I don't need help at the moment because I knew I didn't have much time. But let me see who all is on, who all I can give some love to. Dooby dooby doo. Yeah, I'm seeing Kuan on. Let's go give him some love again. He's doing more art. And again, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys for the next one. And tomorrow, like I said, we should be obviously getting 2 new upgrades. We'll talk to you guys about that. And maybe some Fate Stay Night on the agenda. Hopefully we get a day 1 patch for the cursed name, though. That would definitely help things out. But again, I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for all the support, as always. And go give Kuan my love. Have a good one.